Ready to go. Oh, oh yeah. What should the goal be for today? You want 10 super chats, 50 super chats, uh, that's
I don't
it.
know. I don't, attendance, interaction. That's all I give a shit about.
Well, sorry, I can't request that, Nelson. You can do your
Oh,
part. You can start by sharing the link.
let's see what I did.
Alright, just retweeted or just posted it. Look, my Android's got a new update. Pain in my ass. You have to, instead of scrolling from the top down to see your
Oh,
notifications, you
I
gotta
got that too.
fucking
The right
sucks.
side and left side.
Yeah, what does the right side do?
hmm Oh, it's for one's settings and one's your notifications.
Yeah, I don't like it. I like to just, like, no, it was simple the
You
way it
just get
was.
you're just used to it. That's all.
It's just simple. If you want to get
So
into
was
your
I.
settings, you just scroll down further down instead of,
How many times did you fight the lamp master?
I don't know these bosses. What's up, El Nini? I don't know these
The
bosses
dude
by
with the
name.
big lamps.
With the big lamps.
He's got at least he's got more than one stage for sure.
I can't recall, bro. Dude, I fought so many damn bosses. You know what's my biggest pet peeve? And I mean, I've always thought about this, but like this game just made it, like brought it to the forefront, and that's bosses with multiple faces. Like
Me
I
too. I hate that shit.
fucking hate it with a passion. Like I don't care if you want to give me if you want to give the boss like, two health bars, do that. If you want to give him
That's why I
50
quit
health
playing
bars,
Wukong. I finally beat this dude in a temple, and he fucking transforms and shit like that. And I thought I looked it up. He had one more after that.
yeah, it's just fucking stupid, man. And not all of them do. So you're like, you're fighting your ass off, trying, using everything you can to survive. And yeah, no, I brought it down to explorer mode, like after I was like 80% done with the game.
I might do it sooner than that.
It was just gone too much. I thought I was gonna do it when you fight the duelist, but I beat him like the third try, or her. I don't know what it is, but yeah, then everything was going just fine. I forget which boss it was that I changed it. But basically after that point it was like dual fucking, multiple phases. And then there is after a certain point every fight takes like fucking 20 minutes, dude. Like just ridiculous how long. I just had a fight, one of the last fights you do in the game took me 29 minutes. And that's not I died and I started. No, that's s- fighting continuously. So if you died at the 20-minute mark, you got to start all over again. Like, imagine if you're playing on whatever difficulty or you're having a hard time with the combat and you fucking get to the last little bit of health and you die. Oh God, that's worse than a Souls game. What up, chat?
Yeah, no, freaking on Final Fantasy VII. If I didn't have the guide, I would never beat the ultimate weapons. Like Ruby weapon, you had to go in with two of your characters dead, otherwise you'd drown them and they'd be gone for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, I don't like that.
How the hell are you supposed to know that if you didn't have a book?
Yeah, I don't like that. You're supposed, yeah. It just feels cheap. You know what I mean? Like, bro, make it harder or whatever, but don't be adding phases, man. At least some games they let you know, like for example, Returnal. Returnal will let you know how many phases a boss has, whether it's one, two, or three. It lets you know with those ticks on the, I think it's on the upper left hand corner. So you know that you have phases left and when to use your shit, how to use it accordingly. At least do that, but not knowing,
Yeah,
and
you
it,
got hope, and then all of a sudden it's like you're on your last thread of health, and all of a sudden it's like, really?
or sometimes it's the fight is so tough and you know you feel like you know you win and you're depleted like you got 1 point of health, you have no healing
That's what I meant.
potions, no nothing, and
Like,
you
yeah, I
get
did it, and
hyped.
then all of a sudden it's like, well, that's that.
Yeah, it happened to me Saturday night. I fucking quit last night. So you know what, fuck this, I turned it off. I was cursing the damn game. I was like, all right, dude, you just gotta finish it. You're so damn close. And the game Expedition 33's it's a thing of its own because the fucking game, like no shit, dude, you have like 5 or 6 times you think the game's gonna end. Like you think you're gonna roll credits. And I felt that way the last like 8 hours. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, it's cool, it adds on more to the story, but it's just a fucking tease the whole time. Just like hovering right on your face instead of just sitting down and letting you go to town. Nope.
Yeah, it's uh,
Did you share this?
yep.
I don't fucking see it, Nelson.
I did it like 3 times. When you did it earlier, I couldn't do it because the freaking where I take my kids to wrestling practice, the schools, the fucking signal sucks there, so you got to use Wi-Fi, and their Wi-Fi like it doesn't let you do nothing, dude.
Reshare
Like
the one I
nothing.
just posted. That one's got the link. Yeah, Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi sucks ass. Oh, we got some topics for y'all today, man. Today. Well, we're going to be going on a few different things. We're going to talk about Expedition 33, which we kind of been talking already, but we're going to be going over a couple other things. In regards to Expedition 33, I really want to pick Nelson's brain on this. Also, I didn't tell Nelson, but he posted it. So we're going to talk about the Call of Duty stuff that's happening that we found out today. We're also going to be talking about Xbox. Yes, Xbox, which in all reality, I avoid Xbox because that's like PlayStation being the NFL and Xbox being Pee Wee football. Like, okay, why beat up on them? Like, they're irrelevant. Who gives a shit? But we're definitely going to talk about them today because this is more than just Xbox. So, and then we're also going to be talking about what was the other thing? Let me look at my list here. Oh, games coming out this month. So I really want to get into that today because there's some bangers coming, man. May, April had a very extremely solid week. A lot of games came out in April, but man, that last week of April or the second to last week of April was very, very big. And you still have people like if you guys have noticed on social media, people are still playing Expedition 33, man. Expedition 33 or Oblivion. I don't think I've seen anybody play Days Gone. Have you, Nelson?
Yeah. What?
Have you seen anybody playing Days Gone?
Yeah.
A lot of people, a couple people.
Uh, if it wasn't the most played on what was it, Friday or Saturday, it was. I think it was ahead of Claire. It was like 5-3 or something, 5-4.
I have seen nobody on my friends list playing it. Nobody, not one person. I think I was the only one who played it last week, Sunday during the stream. But yeah, I haven't seen none of my other friends playing it. Everybody's been playing Expedition 33. I've seen a couple Oblivions in there. But I did see more than a few people playing Forza Horizon, which kind of surprised me a little bit there. I guess it shouldn't, but yeah, we'll just give people of some time to come in. If they come in, I feel like our viewership is going down weekly.
I think it's staying the same, really.
Our lives are going down. And we'll see what happens. While we wait, let me go ahead and get my shit ready on my end. What happens? While we wait, go ahead and get my shit ready. Turn that shit down!
Sure.
Oh, you don't like hearing your voice, but Will likes to hear his own voice, huh? Fucking fastest way to make my dick soft is hearing my own voice.
I hate my voice.
You should be a phone
I
sex operator. A gay one, though. Like a gay sex phone operator.
remember my dad. I knew where my dad's nudie magazines were and shit like that. And I fucking was trying to call because after however much time you fucking they'd charge you or whatever. Well, I didn't make it a couple times, and my dad had some questions for me.
Yeah, I never got tempted to call one of those places, but I
I
mean,
was like 8, 9, 10.
I was really tempted to steal my parents' credit card and buy Girls Gone Wild. Fuck, man,
Oh
I
yeah, I
really wanted
remember
one of
that.
those when I was a kid. I used to stay up hoping that they would show the infomercial, get a solid 30 minutes of fucking censored boobs on TV. Fucking
Fucking, I
heaven
love
when
going
you're a
over my
kid.
buddy, my best friend's house. Fucking, his dad had fucking Cinemax. Fucking amazing. Fuck, we had was basic television all the time. I was growing up, so I had to get it between like channels 3 and 4. And it was all fucking squiggly lines and shit. Sometimes you'd see a tit.
My dad was pretty good. We had a cable box, a black box that he paid like $50 with like 100 channels, and a couple of them was Cinemax and Showtime, HBO, and shit like that. So that was good, and I was also lucky because my parents loved going to the casino and play bingo, and they would leave Saturday nights like around 9 o'clock. Bingo didn't start till like 10, and they usually get home around 1, 2 in the morning, sometimes a little bit later, depending. Sometimes they would go play slots or whatever after the bingo. But man, at least twice a month they would go. And man, that was fucking heaven. I just had to wait till my sister to go to fucking sleep. Like, dude, go to fucking sleep. Big brother's got shit to do.
Yeah,
Lotion on the
right.
side. I used to
I
bribe
went
her.
to Bro, fucking the worst thing was fucking growing up and the fucking dial-up internet.
Oh
Every
yeah.
fucking time I'd fucking get on the internet and that fucker'd start squealing, my parents sleep so tight. My fucking parents would be coming out downstairs almost immediately. Luckily, fucking back in those days, that was probably done before the fucking tit had finished rendering.
Well, the problem was that the whatever you're trying to look at takes much longer to fucking load.
Exactly, I'm done before the tit renders.
Sheesh. I remember trying to fucking print a picture, just a picture of like a topless chick, bro. That shit took fucking like an hour, not only to download the image, but to fucking print it. And I printed it in color. I needed it in color. Like black and white wasn't cutting it at this point. Fuck, took forever. And on top of that, my mom's like, I gotta make a phone call. Fuck. And they placed a computer right in the living room. So there was like no privacy. So I only had X amount of time to go in there and attack it. Yeah, good old days, man. These kids will never understand, man. They bitch and complain when you got to restart the fucking router. Imagine having to wait for your family to get off the fucking phone.
Yeah, I know. I'd usually they'd hear it, they'd come downstairs or whatever. But what I'd do is I'd just turn the screen off and run into bed. That way I was already online when they went back to bed, and then I could fucking pound my pud. Fucking, I hated that goddamn thing. I'd be trying to put fucking blankets and shit over it and fucking.
All right, man, let's get into it. People will eventually show up, man. They'll catch the replay. They always do. Actually, before we do that, let me go wash my fucking hands. I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of in that state of limbo right now where I just beat Expedition 33 and I don't know what else to play. Even though I got plenty of shit to play, I still got Oblivion, I have fucking Days Gone, but I don't feel like playing those right now. That fucking single player freaking story mode that Expedition has is, in the back of my mind. The next game that I'm really interested in really is Midnight Walk, which comes out in 4 days, which I'm excited for, and the Precinct, but that won't be till the middle of the month. Doom. I just want a shooter, man. Like I feel like we haven't been getting many shooters. Uh, but yeah, so I'm kind of like in that limbo right now. After the show, I probably might just call it a day with gaming.
Well, you could play fucking Indiana Jones.
Fuck, I'm not spending $70 on that shit.
I won't either.
I mean, if it was $50, I'd buy it. But
Nobody else did either. Did you see the fucking sales? It sold like 250,000 copies.
shit, that's more than would have sold on Xbox, I bet.
No, that's combined. It was like 130 on PlayStation and 117 between the other
Sheesh,
two platforms. Bro, that don't even pay for the fucking
sheesh,
commercial.
sheesh. Yeah, I mean, look, I originally was gonna buy Indiana Jones on the PlayStation. I played maybe like an hour, 2 hours on Game Pass, and I was like, okay, this is decent. I'm just gonna play it on PlayStation. Hopefully, they give it some haptics and shit. That would be cool. So I stopped playing it. But then the news came out that the fucking disc doesn't even have the game on there. So I just got deflated. I'm like, fuck it, I'm not gonna buy this thing. So I'll probably wait till this thing's on a deep sale digitally before I buy it, or if I can find a really good price physically. But it just sucks, man. It just sucks. I understand that's
It's
what
it's
the
not even on the PlayStation disc.
no, they only got 25 gigs on there. Which I mean, it's 100. I think it was like 100 and like five or 100. It's a pretty beefy game, but that's no excuse, you know? Fuck. Final
Well,
Fantasy
105, you
7,
could fit all but five on there.
yeah.
That's like
Uh
the whole game minus a patch.
Basically. But Final Fantasy Rebirth gave us 2 discs. Cyberpunk gave us 2 discs. Last of Us Part 2 for PS4 gave us 2 discs. There's lots of games out here that give us 2 discs. Like, but we know why. I mean, Xbox has been stepping out of the physical game, production for the last couple years. I don't even do on the channel here. A lot of you guys know I do a series called Will It Play, where I test the physical game to see if you need internet in order to install it and play it. And I've done, I don't know, 4 or 5 Xbox games, and all of them you need internet to install. So they're all basically licenses. Now, do have to double check a couple of them because some people said that uh, the game is on the disc, and that was my fault for not finishing the install. Because tell me if I was wrong to assume this, Nelson. But the previous day, I did a game, I forgot what it was, and it was like 55 gigs or 45 gigs or something like that. 45, 50, 55, something like that. And it didn't play with no internet. The day before that, I did another one, same shit, 50, 55 gigs, didn't play with no internet. So then I put in, I think it was Halo 5, and or Master Chief Collection. I forget which one, but it said 50, 55 gigs. So I just like, there's no fucking point. I'm just gonna stop this. Was I wrong to assume that?
No.
That's what I said. I'm like, dude, if you're seeing it back to back to back to back, obviously their discs are capped out. And plus, we know that Xbox disc are 50 gigs. That's where they cap out, where PlayStation's at 100. That's why we get all these games that
Yeah, a
under
lot of
100 on
them
there.
just don't have shit on it though at all.
No, nothing. But either way, I'm gonna check. I mean, I got 360 games. Those are on the disc, but I still have a couple games I would like to test, like Rise on the Rome. I'm wondering if that's gonna be on the disc. What else? Man, I got a few. Gears of War. Starfield's definitely not on the fucking disc. I think that was the one that I tested. But yeah, so I was like, fuck it, Indiana Jones. Yeah, Midnight Walk El Nini, that's the one right there, bro. PSVR or traditional. Oh yeah. All right, man. Let's get into it. So Nelson actually, well, Nelson and a couple other people posted this on the Discord, and Call of Duty, man. Call of Duty is gonna be doing some paywalling on their games. Well, more than they normally do. Here we have an article from Insider Gaming that we're gonna go ahead and read a little bit, and then we'll get Nelson's opinion, my opinion. Um, I don't think Nelson plays any Call of Duty. I play the campaigns every once in a while, but I don't do none of the multiplayer shit, which is annoying as fuck because I just want to install the campaigns, but Call of Duty makes you download fucking everything. I heard that change, but I don't have the motivation to check because it's so big. I mean, these freaking games are 200 plus gigs. But this article is from Insider Gaming by Tom Henderson, Nelson's favorite journalist.
Yeah, I
And
don't like any of them.
he says Call of Duty will be paywalling limited time modes behind its battle pass. It's claimed. Okay, so this is claimed, it's not confirmed. A new rumor has claimed that Call of Duty might be charging its Battle Pass strategy to paywall limited time modes. The new rumor comes from serial leaker The Ghost of Hope, who says that the recent changes could be implemented for Call of Duty 2025. So, Tom Henderson, the journalist, is getting his information from a leaker on social media. Jesus Christ, bro. Uh, Anything to say about that, Nelson? Or is this just
That's
is
business as usual.
business as usual? Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Business as usual. Okay, continuing. According to Hope, the current plan in Call of Duty 2025 is to have more seasonal limited time modes. But instead of them being traditionally free to all players, some will now be locked behind the game's battle pass. This means that in essence, some LTMs will now be paywalled, with players only being able to access them by spending $20 to $30 on the battle pass. Hope goes on further to say that higher value skins and other bits of content could be part of Battle Pass instead of premium event passes. If true, the move is certainly a choice, especially considering what we've heard Call of Duty 2025 is set to be one of Xbox's first $80 games. This year's Call of Duty is set to be a semi-futuristic game set around 2030, 2035 and will be a sequel to Call of Duty Black Ops 2. As previously rumored, Black Ops 2 remastered maps will be coming to the game, but recent plans and the scope of the game have changed significantly. What do you think of Call of Duty paywalling its limited time modes behind its battle pass? Okay, first off, do you know what a limited time mode is?
Something ain't gonna be around for very long. I don't know.
I don't even know what the fuck that is. Honestly, that just shows you how much it is. I think what that is like when they do um I'm not saying this specific thing is a limited time mode, but like if you do capture the flag, then that mode, not capture the flag, but some another mode like capture the flag or something else would be limited time only. Normally, that's free to play. But what they're saying is it would only be accessible to Battle Pass holders, which means that if you play Call of Duty, like if you buy the game, right, and you play the campaign, you're done with the campaign, then you go play the multiplayer stuff like co-op or or not co-op, but like zombies or any of these other modes like capture the flag or you know team
Team
deathmatch,
deathmatch.
something like that. What they're saying is that some of these modes will only be available if you buy the battle pass. And obviously, battle passes they come out with them. I think it's every 3 months, and you can reach up to level 100 to unlock all the things part of that battle pass. If you don't reach level 100 by the time the battle pass expires, then you lose out on whatever you didn't claim. That's one of the reasons I don't buy battle passes because even though some of the shit looks cool, right? You can get a cool weapon skin or a freaking box that gives you, times 2 XP. Like, yeah, that shit sounds a little interesting, but because I'm such a casual at playing these games, to me, it's not worth spending 20, $30 for a battle pass when I may only stick 5 hours into it in the next 3 months. And then a new battle pass comes out, right? If it was like Helldivers, where it never goes away, then I would be more apt to buy it because I know that I can get to it whenever I get to it. And sometimes they got limited time skins and shit like that where you can only get during that time, which is cool, but I would like more time on that. What do you think
You know,
about
it's
that,
funny.
Nelson?
The only game that I've spent microtransactions, other than I bought 2 cars in Rocket League, uh, is Helldivers. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I have spent some
I've
money.
spent I've spent $50 total lifetime for microtransactions.
Hey, what's up, Brad? How you doing? I spent money on battle passes before. Fortnite. I probably have a lifetime amount of like $60 spent on Fortnite, and I would say 40 of that is my son, and $20 of that was so I can play with my son. You know what I'm saying? And not all of it's been battle passes. Some of it has been actual skins. I remember spending $10 to get the Luke Skywalker skin when it came out. But that's it. I don't really
My kids have been asking me all weekend, and I was like, "Look, we had a deal. I didn't like the idea of you guys playing Fortnite at all, but now kids make fun of them because they don't have fucking skins." And I'm like, "I fucking told you I wasn't
yeah,
buying the shit.
yeah, that's
That's why I didn't
ridiculous.
want you playing it in the goddamn first place."
Like, are we now bullying kids for? I mean, I
Yep.
guess kids are fucking assholes, anyways. You
And
know what I
they
mean?
said they some kid was like, "Oh, you guys must be poor." I'm like, "Bitch, I got like 600 motherfucking games on here. I don't need a goddamn skin."
Well, technically, the kids that only play Fortnite, wouldn't you say they're the poor ones because you playing a free to play game? I don't know.
I don't know. I actually used to work with a guy, right? And then he's like, "Oh, I like my kid plays Fortnite and it's great, but because it's free." And but he's like, "But I have spent a few dollars on there." And I'm like, "You better be careful with that shit, man. Like that shit adds up. You don't realize how much you're spending." He came to me like 3 months later. He's like, "Bro, I should have listened to you. I thought maybe
Hmm.
I spent 30, $40 on Fortnite. I went through my account. It'd only been like 4 months, by the way. $263
Oof.
in 4
Sheesh.
months.
Sheesh. Yeah, that's a lot of money. I
You
mean,
know, Soldier Rev went up and tallied up how much he spent on his kids for Fortnite.
yeah, it's a couple grand.
Just over 3,500.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, look, and the difference between, and this is something that I talked about with Concord. The I didn't really join Concord, even though I played a few matches. I had a good time, and I ended up coming in first place, and I think it was one or two of the matches that I played out of like the three or four that I played, and I was having a pretty good time and shit. And I said that if the game or Concord would have created a small campaign to go along with Concord, I would have been more invested because I'm open to gaming, right? If all my friends are playing the game, like me and Henry played Marathon, I even played a little bit of Ark, which I just don't like that game. I mean, it looks
I
beautiful.
fucking that's my least favorite fucking game on the Arc Raiders. I thought you were talking about
No,
Survival.
no, Ark Raiders. The
I don't
game
know
is
what I'm doing in that game. I played solo for like an hour yesterday. and I fucking just died all the time.
Dude, it's an extraction shooter. Literally, all you gotta do is go in there, collect loot, and try not to die. That's it. And then with all the loot that you get, you can get upgrade. I just don't understand that concept. Like it just feels boring to me. But anyways, but with Concord, which is going to get to where I spent money on season passes and shit, is with Concord. If they would have gave me a story where I could have beat it in whatever 4 or 5 hours just to get used to the lore, the world, the characters, I would have been more apt to investing in that game longer term. Especially if they did seasonal shit where like maybe every 3 months or something they dropped a little small DLC, a little story DLC that's like an hour or two long. I would have probably bought something like that to keep it going, and they could have had different tiers. And I did this with Destiny, where they did the Horizon Aloy skin, and I love Horizon, so I bought the DLC and that skin pack, and I saved $10 instead of buying things individually. Right, so that's one way they could have got money out of me. So they got more money than me just buying the season pass. Um, and I felt good about it, right? I'm like, I didn't spend whatever the 20 or 30 or $50 of DLC cost plus another 20 or $30 for the skin. I forgot how much I paid. But the difference between something like a Fortnite with a season pass to like a single player game season pass is you're getting DLCs. And I buy those shits all the time. For example, Remnant 2. Every time they drop the DLC, day one, I'm buying it. I can't wait till I get home to play that motherfucker. People do the same shit with Diablo. They drop a new expansion, people can't fucking wait. And the cool thing about these expansions is that you they're getting way more money. I mean, some of these expansions like over on Destiny, they're 50 freaking dollars. Bro, a brand new game is 70. So you're getting almost a full game money for a freaking DLC that's going to only last you 4 or 5 hours. But because people love the game, they invest in it. And I think that's a smarter way of doing it. Do you buy DLCs, Nelson?
Um, very few, very very few.
What does a game have to do to get you to buy a DLC?
Be the Ascent.
Not
Trying
every game could be the Ascent.
to think what other DLCs I've bought. There ain't been a whole lot lately. Tales of Arise, I did.
The one game you
Gotta
don't
be
need to
really
buy a
good.
DLC because it's already a million hours long.
Man, well, it's an RPG. That's expected.
So what with DLCs? When you buy a DLC, what are you expecting out of that DLC? Are you just expecting more story? You're expecting new gameplay mechanics? What do you expect when you're buying the DLC for a game?
And more story. I mean, it depends on what they charge for it too. Some are 20, some are 30, some are 40, some are 50. Like my favorite part of The Witcher is freaking Blood and Wine. That was mostly just more story, more loot, vampires. That shit was fucking wicked. Loved it.
For Remnant 2, they charged $10 for their DLCs, and it was a story DLC, and it lasted about 4 hours. But as you know, with Remnant 2 is procedurally generated, so every time you play that DLC, the whole map rearranges itself. So it's like you're playing something new every single time. I think something like that is what the standard should fucking be. It's only $10. You get to play it for more than fucking 4 hours. I mean, yeah, you only get about 4 hours of story, of mainline story, because there's a ton of side content, a ton of side lore that you can get into, and you can literally expand that double the time. But then we have instances where a DLC might be $20 and it's like an arcade mode or something like that. That shit pisses me off. Where all you're doing is just giving the gamers a way to just enjoy the gameplay, no story. Maybe they add something new to it, but that's it. But Nelson's right. It all depends on the freaking on what the DLC is. And then you have free ones like the Valhalla one, or not the Valhalla. Is it Valhalla? God of War Ragnarok when they
Yeah,
dropped that Valhalla. That was free, but that
and
was
Astrobot.
Astrobot. Well, those DLCs for Astrobots, yeah, I guess are similar because you go to a new planet. But it just kind of depends, man. For me, when I decide to buy a DLC, it's because I love the game and I want it to keep for it to continue. So with Concord, going back to Concord, this is what I was talking about. Concord. This was trying to be my point with Concord is that with these live service games, something that I think will really benefit these people is instead of creating a brand new IP, brand new characters, brand new everything, and saying, hey, this is our new live service, how about you take your current IP, what's already popular, what the gamers want more of, and convert that to a live service game, right? Like I used factions all the time. It's not called factions, but for Last of Us Part One, that would have been a smarter route to go, right? People actually love the multiplayer, they love the world, they love the IP, and they would have spent a lot of money with a live service on that. But nope, you instead drop a Concord, etc., and now the game fails in a month, or in Concord's case, a couple weeks, and now you're sitting there holding your dick in your hand, wondering why you spent all this money on the game and it failed. But with live service games, with DLCs, with season passes, expansion passes, all this bullshit, just give gamers what they're requesting. And that is the beautiful thing about Fortnite. Fortnite originally wasn't, when it came out, it wasn't the game it is today. It transformed itself that way based on how the players interacted with the game, how the players wanted to play that game. The players were the ones who decided, you know what, we want to pay for these skins. We want it to be a battle royale. We want it to be a build, no build. We want fucking dancing and racing and whatever the hell is, Legos and whatever the hell is that Fortnite has. The players decided that. And something that I really admire about Epic Games is that if something's not working, the players aren't digging it, they have no problem with saying, all right, we'll scrap it, we'll come out with something new, right? So not everything they make is player requested. A lot of it is. And when it's something that's coming from them, meaning, hey, let's just try something new, see if the gamers like it, they put it out there. And if the gamers don't fuck with it, they have no problem with saying, no, okay, we'll change it. And I really, really like that. And I think that's why Fortnite has been so successful. Now, me, Nelson, me, a few of the boys, we make fun of Fortnite, right? But the reality is that Fortnite is successful for a fucking reason. That's why all these new live service games are going to have a very hard time to get players away from whatever game they're doing because not only do they have a ton of time invested in this shit, it's their comfort food, but also money. And like we talked a little bit ago, Solid Red, who's a YouTuber, he's on X, popular. He spent 3,500 bucks on Fortnite for his kids. Uh, Nelson, is Fortnite your favorite game?
I can't stand that game.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Adam Figueroa? How you doing, bro? And Brett, of
I knew as soon
course.
as my kids played it, they'd be like, "I want this. I want." I'm like, "I told you from the beginning. No,
Yeah.
told you before I even let you download it."
Well, I mean, look, it's not that Fortnite is the problem, it's everything that comes with it, right? The bullying, the kids making fun of you because you don't have the newest skin. But you know, kids are fucking kids. Kids have been assholes when I was a kid. Kids were an asshole when my parents were kids, and kids will continue to be assholes. It's just the way that it is. I remember one time, man, I took my son to the gas station to buy some snacks, and there was like this freaking 400-pound dude in front of me, and he was buying like frozen chicken wings and shit from the gas station and like all these chips and soda. And we walk up to the line and my son's like, damn, no wonder he's so fat. My son was like 5 years old, 6 years old. I'm like, William, can't say that shit out loud. But that's how kids are. No fucking filter. You know what I mean? They don't give a shit. So yeah, that's the dangerous part about these online games with kids. It's just that, and also they're addictive, right? A new skin comes out, you want the kids want to get it, and who's got to pay for it? Nelson does, right? I do. I mean, my son doesn't play Fortnite like that, but he does play Minecraft and Roblox, and he does ask me for DLCs and shit like that every once in a while. But I feel like I've done a good job of explaining to my kid, uh, hey, this shit costs money. You sure you want it? Once you buy it, it's gone forever. So, so Be careful of what you're asking for. And I limit it, right? We can only do this much. I think last year I only spent maybe a total of like 25 bucks. He spent closer to 60, $70, but that was his own money, Christmas money, birthday money, shit like that. Anything else you want to talk about? The Call of Duty paywall that's gonna rumored, right? Because we can't really discuss much more because Tom Henderson got this shit from a fucking leaker, and we all know how successful leakers are with information.
Well, they started putting goddamn Ninja Turtles and shit like that in Call of Duty. So yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Also, while we're talking about Tom Henderson and fucking journalists, um, and nothing against Tom Henderson, right? I don't know him personally. I just know his work, and I know that they half-ass what they do. But we just seen this. What do you mean? What paywall, Brett? Have you not been listening? Sorry guys, Brett is a bot, so he's quite not there with the logic. Um,
look at that. If you
there
want to buy Lando Calrissian, $20, dude. Like Jesus Christ.
basically TDM or limited modes, limited time modes might be part of the season pass. So that's the rumor that limited time modes may be part of the season pass starting with this Call of Duty coming up instead of it being just free, I guess. Um, but over the weekend, I think it was Friday actually, uh, the developer of Chrono Trigger or the creator of Chrono Trigger was at an event and he had a translator there. And the translator, while translating, messed up and made it seem like there was going to be a Chrono Trigger remastered. Um, Obviously, journalists went crazy with it. Well, what happened? All these journalists wrote an article that Chrono Trigger is confirmed, Chrono Trigger is coming, words of the mouth of the creator. And finally, somebody verified what the translator was saying, and they saw that it didn't come from the creator himself, it was a translator. So all these people, all these journalists had to redact what they said. Well, of course, as you guys know, is that once the information goes out, it's very hard to retract that information, right? But that's the video game journalist in a nutshell. They write articles for themselves. One person reads an article or one journalist reads an article, then they write their own article based on that one article. Another journalist does the same thing. So you have 10, 15, 20 journalists all writing about the same thing because they got it from the one journalist who quote unquote heard it first. And I made a video about this on my channel. Go check it out. But I also used the example of the interview that I was watching from the Nintendo guy, or I'm sorry, not a Nintendo guy, but a journalist who went to the Nintendo Switch event, and he wanted to get the information out as soon as possible so his journalist friends can do their work off of that, which blows my freaking mind. I am not a journalist, I'm not an investigator, but even I know that you need at least two different sources to confirm a story. And these two sources cannot know each other, meaning that if you're a journalist and I say, hey, they already confirmed Borderlands 10, and Nelson says, hey, I want to, Borderlands 10 has been confirmed, you should not take that information and say it is valid. Why? Because me and Nelson know each other. Now, if you heard it from me and then tomorrow you hear from somebody else who's not related to me, now you can start your investigation because now you're hearing it from two different places of two different people who know nothing of each other, not even mutual friends. And that is how you start to get accurate freaking information. But of course, video game industry, they do the path of least resistance. Moving on, let's talk about everybody's favorite topic, Xbox. Xbox is Nelson's favorite console. Nelson would sacrifice both his nuts for an Xbox. He would sacrifice his kids. He would even sacrifice his house for an Xbox. Nelson absolutely loved Xbox. Xbox this week announced that they are doing a price increase. A price increase, not just on their consoles, not just, what's up, C Fresh? You ready to get some more emotions out of me? Not just on their games, not just on their accessories. What's up, Henry? How y'all doing, man? Not just on
Tell Henry
their,
to let me join his group.
hey, Nelson, what's the name of that jacket that you put a control on your controller, Xbox controller?
I call it a condom.
Not just on the Xbox toaster, not just on everything. Everything's getting a price increase. Absolutely everything. And these are the prices. Now, for those of you guys that are here, you're going to get a sneak peek to a video that I made that I'm going to be putting out this week. I sold my Series S yesterday, and I made more money on it, even though I've had it for, I don't know, a year or whatever. But let's get you guys some of that information in here. So this is from GameSpot. And Xbox price increase includes $600 Series X consoles and $80 games. Now, the $80 games is not as of right now. It will be after this holiday season or during this holiday season. By Evan Campbell. Microsoft has announced worldwide price increase for the Xbox lineup, including consoles, games, and even accessories. This means that an Xbox Series X will now retail for $600, previously $500, and that select first-party games will start going for $80 this holiday season. It's not just Xbox Series X either. The cheaper Xbox Series S 512 gigabyte system will now start at $380, previously $300, meaning the entry price of to this generation is more expensive than when it began in 2020. Quote, we understand that these changes are challenging and they were made with careful consideration given market conditions and the rising cost of development, unquote. The Xbox support page says, revealing the price increase. Quote, looking ahead, we continue to focus on offering more ways to play more games across any screen and ensuring value for Xbox gamers. Uh, hold on just a second. Guys, the chat, the party chat, it's open. If you want to come in here and talk, just come in here and talk. You guys act like this is your first fucking rodeo. Now, Brett. So here's a list real quick of the pricing. Xbox Series S, 512 gigabytes. $380 is a new price. The old price is $300. Xbox Series S, 1 terabyte, is $430. Previous was $350. Xbox Series X digital, $550. Previously it was $450. Xbox Series X, 600. Previously $500. Xbox Series X, 2 terabyte, Galaxy Black Special Edition is $730. Previously $600. It's more than a PS5 Pro. Xbox wireless controllers core, $65. Previously they were $60. Xbox wireless controller color, which means the colored ones, not just the white one, is $70. Previously they were $65. Mind you, I bought a controller last holiday for $40. Xbox wireless controller special edition, $80. Previously $70. Xbox wireless controller limited edition, $90. Previously $80. Something about these controller too is that these fucking controllers have no hep. They're not like PlayStation where it'll tickle your booty if it's raining outside. These do nothing but rumble. Xbox wireless controller limited edition, $90. Previously $80. Xbox Elite wireless controller Series 2 core, $150. Previously $130 to $140. I bought one, the black and white one, for $100. Xbox Elite wireless controller Series 2 full, $200. Previously $180. Xbox stereo headset, $65. That stays the same. Xbox wireless headset, $120. Previously $110. Nelson, do you think it was smart for Xbox to raise the price? And do you think that the cost has gone up? That like obviously we don't know. We're shooting the shit here. We don't know. We're just gamers. We're speculating. But do you think that they really had to increase the cost? Nelson? Oh, looks like
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Let's be honest. They've been trying to get people on other platforms this entire generation. You don't have to play here. You can play any I mean, just go back and look through the generation. They've been pushing, especially PC. All PC Game Pass is growing. Why? Because not even the fucking Xbox podcasters, diehard Xbox guys, even fucking have an Xbox anymore. And they're trying to get rid of the rest of their inventory. Why take the hit on it? Try to make as much money fucking off it before it's just gone. It's done.
yeah. Well, when I saw that, I was super confused. I was really confused. I was like, out of all times, why now? That was my number one question. The other thing too is Xbox didn't just raise the price in some other far off country or Europe or whatever, Australia. No, they raised the price everywhere. Everywhere they changed the price. So that right away lets you know it's not a tariff thing. If it was a tariff thing, they would have just changed it in America, but they didn't. They changed it in Canada, everywhere, Mexico, everywhere, every single where. So that's number one. So don't blame the tariffs. Don't blame nothing political. It wasn't that. The other thing, going back to my first question, is the timing, right? Why now? Why May 1st? And also, they did it immediately, meaning they put out a fucking statement and effective today. Effective today, which May 1st is my effective today. They didn't give you guys a couple weeks. They didn't give you a month. They didn't give you a couple months. They didn't give you a year, which they normally do. They normally make a statement and say something like, folks, from starting whatever, January 1st, we will be changing our prices to this. They didn't even do that. They just said today, which leads me to some conspiracy theories about that. But I'm going to wait to get into those conspiracy theories while we have Retro and Brett come on the podcast. So we have a couple more guys here to kind of pick their brain and see where they're at as far as some of these theories that I have and to see what their opinion is. But while we're waiting for those guys to come in, let me tell you my little story about selling my Xbox. Now, you guys are the privileged few. Everybody else will watch the video when I drop it. I think I'm going to drop it Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. I don't know, sometime this week. But
Can you
when
hear me?
I can hear you, Brett. How are
Okay.
you?
All right. I'm good. All right. Continue your
Awesome.
story.
We're waiting on Retro.
Okay.
So on so Thursday, we all found out, right? May 1st, we all found out the pricing increase, and immediately I went to go see how much they're selling for. Some places like Best Buy, Amazon still had the price of 500, but after a couple hours, they all took down the pricing and changed it to the $600 for the Series X, 380 for the Series S. So then my next question is, well, how much is GameStop going to give for trade-in? Well, GameStop. So I went to the website. There's a section on GameStop where you can find out trade-in value for almost anything, except for I think phones. They won't do. I don't know, something like that, or maybe it's Pokemon cards. I don't know. I don't really trade much in. But all the Xbox products were basically blanked out, grayed out. You couldn't fucking see no trade-in value. Fine, I forgot about it. I got busy at work. Friday, I got busy at work. Friday night, I got home, busy with household chores. Saturday, it came back into my mind. I started investigating a little bit more. So I go to eBay and I see how much a new Xbox would cost me. And I'm looking specifically as a Series S. And I'm seeing they're selling now for 350, 400. I even seen some for 450, which are the 1 terabyte ones. And I was like, hold up. Hold up. In case you guys don't know, Christmas of 2023, so a year and a half ago, I purchased a Series X for $350 from Walmart. It was
Diablo
after,
4 bundles where you got the game free with it for 350.
well, I already had purchased Diablo on the PlayStation, or it was I don't know, it was 300 or 350. What's up, Retro? How are you?
Yo, what's up, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm good,
Everyone
man.
good? Yeah.
We're good. I'm just finishing up my story here about my the Xbox that I sold this weekend, which I'm gonna come out with a video this week. I already got it recorded. I just got to edit some things. But
You got rid of your Xbox.
well, I still have it, but so 300, I think it was 350 that I paid for from Walmart, and they delivered to my house. Well, just before that, a few weeks before that, I was talking to my sister about how I was contemplating on buying an Xbox, which is my first Xbox ever. I've never owned an Xbox, so I could play Starfield. And Starfield came out late September or early October, and I started playing on my son's Series S, but it ran like shit, obviously. So I was telling her all about it. Anyways, fast forward to the sale, I buy it. My sister comes to visit me. She sees me unwrapping it. She's like, "Oh, dude, what the fuck are you doing up? Me and my husband, my brother-in-law, we're gonna buy you an Xbox for Christmas because he works at FedEx and he gets an employee pricing where he gets it like $80 cheaper. So from 500, it would have been like four something, and that's what they were gonna do." And I told her, I'm like, "Hey, dude, I got this for 350. You know what I mean? That's the price of a Switch. Fuck it. If I don't like it, I'm not losing out on anything. I can go ahead and trade it at GameStop and still get the same money back." She said, "We'll give you the money. This will be your Christmas gift." All right, cool. So she gave me $350 back. That was her Christmas gift for me. A week later, the Series S goes on sale for $199. $200 fucking dollars. I fucking buy it. I was like, dude, this is fucking cheaper than a Switch. $200. My son already owns the Series S. Now I own the Series X.
That one Christmas they were $138
Yeah, I know that
at
was through
Costco.
Costco. I couldn't get one. They were sold out. So then when I saw it for
Yeah,
200
they went.
bucks,
They went down to 150 over here.
cheap. So I bought it. My
Yeah.
thinking was if my son Series S craps out, then I have a spare one, and I don't got to spend $300 or whatever, get a replacement. So I bought it. I tucked it away in my son's closet, and it's been there ever since. Actually, I took it out. I opened it up because we were going to take the controller out of there because my son's controller started to get a little bit of stick drift. So I was going to swap it out. But I ended up not doing that. I ended up getting him a colored one, a red one. Well, fast forward to this Saturday. I decided to put my fucking Series S on fucking Facebook Marketplace. I got hit up like 2 hours later. Some dude hit me. I was like, "Hey, I'll give you 350 for that thing right now." I was like, "Bet." I met up with him. I showed him the Xbox. I originally was gonna sell it to him for like 320. I felt like 350 was a little bit too high. But then I brought that stick drift controller that I had from my son, and I was like, "Look, man, it's stick drift. It's not really that bad. It's just if you're not using it, you can see the camera move by itself a little tiny bit. But if you're playing, it works just fine." I did open it because we're gonna swap the controllers out, but I never used it. He checked it out. Everything was packaged up. Everything was rolled up with the plastic, like brand new. He gave me $350. A year and a half after I bought that fucking thing, I made $150 on that thing, and you'll see that on the video. I made a video out of it. I got the cash in hand, but wow, what a fucking time to be alive, guys. Back in the
Yo, it's
day, you
very
couldn't afford
presumptuous
it.
of you to think I'm going to be watching your video, though.
Yo, yeah, it's coming out this week. I'm just editing it because I recorded in sections.
I'm just saying, it's very presumptuous of you to think that I'm just going to sit there and watch it.
Well, you should.
Maybe I will, but maybe I won't. You don't know.
Well, if you don't, I'm gonna be mad at you.
All right, fair enough.
And I expect the comments on there. Like, Will is the best. He's the best gamer ever. Everybody should watch
I'll
his
leave a
stuff.
comment. I'll leave a comment. It might not be what you're expecting. I'll
But
leave
man,
something.
guys, explain this to me, right? When we grew up, we're all around the same age. We, if our parents couldn't afford a console or we couldn't afford a console, we knew that we just had to wait, right? We wait a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then the console will drop in price. We're not seeing that. Now we're seeing consoles go up in price. We'll start with you, Brett, right? Because Brett came in first. Brett, what do you think of the Xbox pricing, and why do you think they did it now?
Uh, I'll just sing the
Wait,
same
Brett,
tune I was
Brett, wait,
singing.
wait. Let the people know how you're a
But
bot first, so they understand where you're coming from.
all
You're a
right,
bot.
so yeah. So like, I'm not just somebody that just like I played on a like last year 2000. I think I finished with 2,300 hours of gaming on Xbox. Yeah. So yeah, I game on Xbox. I have a lot to I game on Xbox. So
Do we boo him now
I'm
or
gonna I'm
later?
gonna I'm gonna say the same shit that I said in Discord, but like the whole everything's in Xbox. play anywhere, trying to, sell Game Pass. So the way that I look at all this, and I feel like everything that's happening is kind of like happening to push that agenda that they have. Now you look at an Xbox and you're like, okay, this thing was, in my opinion, overpriced the way it is. Now it's like extremely overpriced. Now their games are $80. You're telling me now I could, instead of spending $80, I could spend $20, $21 and get these games day one. I don't like that it's happening. I think it's, like I put on Twitter, I said in a time where Xbox kind of makes it like the worst time to even own an Xbox, they decide to raise the prices on everything. But then I look at it and I'm like, yeah, dude, all they give a fuck about is Game Pass. All they give a fuck about is everything's in Xbox. Hey, go turn your TV into an Xbox, this, that, and the third. And I feel like all this price hike did, and this is gonna sound crazy, kind of makes that shit like look better. You know what I'm saying? It looks like a better option to have, because now like $70, but now we're paying $80 for our games. So now does that make the value of Xbox just, because here's the thing, I have no problem spending $80 on a game if the quality is there. And one thing I will say, and everyone like laughs at Xbox. Oh, Xbox is going third party. Let's look at the fucking quality of our games before they went third party. And now let's look at the quality of games that they're releasing that we know that are coming out on PlayStation either day one or sometime in the future. The quality of our games have gone through the fucking roof if you really think about it. Yeah, we were having games that dropped at 30 FPS, but like just the pure graphical quality and how fun some of these games are that are coming out underneath like the Xbox name, dude. It's in my opinion, I think it's great, you know. Uh but yeah, I honestly believe everything is happening just to push like the bigger agenda that they're going for, which is like more on like the cloud aspect of thing, the Game Pass, buying the Fire Sticks and all that other shit at like a cheaper price, you know what I'm saying? Like play on your phone, like I don't know. I think it's bogus. I think it's stupid. It's fucking dumb. To be honest. It's
For
dumb,
sure.
dude.
Go ahead, spit your piece about all that.
Who are you talking to? What, me?
Yeah, you, the guy who hates me,
The fuck would I care what
who said
Xbox
my
does?
content is trash, who says he's not watching nothing ever again because I'm a fucking piece of shit.
I mean, I didn't go that far, but I mean,
That's
I
what it
was
felt like.
feeling, yeah, that was the energy I was bringing. That was the type of energy I was trying to bring. But no, honestly, like all joking aside, price rises aren't good for anybody. But we got to remember, as much as we hate them, it's not just about greed. There's various different factors involved when, because companies don't do this lightly. I know you think they might just be going, oh yeah, we'll put games up to £80 and nobody will care. They know people will care. They know people are going to make noise. Um, but I guess they've crunched the numbers and decided that this is what their content is worth. And I guess that they're gambling that people are going to be eventually okay. Because we all grumbled about $70 games, but we all bought them.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
So
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to sit here and go Microsoft bad, because this is coming for PlayStation 2. We might not get it with Ghost. We might not get it even with the likes of Naughty Dog's next game. But I can guarantee at some point in the near future, Sony is going to go, yep, $80 games. They might not put the systems up anymore. They've already kind of done it in certain select territories and stuff. I think they're probably still going to get hit with the tariffs in America. I think once their warehouses run down, I think that's when you're going to see Sony have to readjust for the tariffs and stuff like that.
Well, let me combat
Um,
that a little bit because I
yeah, go
mentioned.
for it, because I'll be honest, I'm no expert in any of this. I'm just going off of what I read and what I'm seeing. So by all means, correct me if I've said something wrong, bro. You know what I
Oh
mean?
no, well, I don't know if you said anything wrong because we're just some dudes who play video games who are talking about what we
Facts.
think. This. I mean, nobody here really knows shit, right? Except like you said, what we read, what we hear from others. That's why we're so critical on these journalists because instead of doing their job, they take so many damn shortcuts. And we saw two examples this past weekend about that, right? Because how else are we
Yeah.
supposed to get informed? But yeah, we're just some dudes shooting the shit, guys. So don't take our words as freaking gospel here. We could all be wrong. But what I wanted to
Yeah.
combat what Retro said a little bit is the reason I don't think it's is tariffs is because the price got increased everywhere, right? And if it was tariffs, why are you waiting till this holiday to increase price on games, and digital games on top of that? But that's just my little pushback there on that. Just because if it
Yeah. No.
was
No. I
tariffs,
get it. I get it. I think they're probably. It sounds like I'm sticking up for them, but I'm not. It's just what I'm thinking is that everything's getting. So one thing in particular doesn't get hit as hard. I think they're going for kind of more like spreading it out.
yeah,
So the fact that they're bringing the consoles and stuff in is going to cost them so much extra. They're kind of offsetting that. Now, yeah, they're bringing up the cost of the consoles too, but I think the tariffs are hitting them that hard that they're having to spread that fucking
It's
that
not the
cost.
terrorists; it's everywhere. They don't want to take that loss anymore because they're not going to be
Yeah,
around. They've been telling you to go somewhere else for a long time, and they're tired of doing it.
yeah. Well, this is where some of my conspiracy theories are coming
They're
in,
not
right?
making them in advance either. They're fucking making them
although I
to
will
order.
say I am happy with their third party push. I'm very happy with that.
Why they had to. I mean, you buy that much shit.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I
that's why
get it.
everyone's
I,
like,
I
"Oh,
mean, I was
Sony
one
should
of the
buy
bro.
SquareSoft and
I
Capcom and all this shit." I'm like, you're not going to get that shit exclusive. You can't buy a
bro,
company whose
I
value
was
is
definitely
based
one of them
on.
people saying in 2019 that this was their play. I said it
Well, I
on
knew that too. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, we were all saying it. If you
I
remember back to
know.
like
I know. We've been saying it for
Doomsayer's early
5 years.
shit, we were always saying it, man, that they would have to go third party because the Xbox fan base by itself isn't enough to support that. It just isn't. And if Sony had done something similar, I would have said the exact same thing because it there's just
It's even
too
worse
much
on
now to
Xbox. I mean,
yeah,
Call of
yeah,
Duty,
it is a
they don't
smaller
even, that's
base.
the
I
best
mean,
selling game on Xbox every single year, and they don't even show up in the financials because they're so fucking
Well,
insignificant.
time out, guys. Let's make
but
something very
what
clear
I'm trying
here.
to say is the thing is, I'm happy with the third party play personally because I was a fan of the likes of Forza and the
Yeah,
likes
you're the only
of
one of my
Gears of
friends that's
War.
playing it.
Wait, time
And
out.
the
Hold
fact
on.
that I'm now getting those games on my preferred platform is awesome to me.
Because let's get this out of the way before you guys continue with what you're talking about here. For those of you guys that don't know, and Dizzy, how are you, bro? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. And we're going to get into some of your comments in a second. But for those of you guys who don't know, Xbox, even 4 or 5 years in, right? This is speculation. We don't know. But based on the information we've read, based on the information we've heard, Xbox is still losing money manufacturing their console. All right. They're
Yeah,
still
they said
losing
that in
money
court. It's a ridiculous
in
amount,
court,
too.
a crazy amount.
And
PlayStation is not. PlayStation has been profitable on their hardware for years now. So when we look at will PlayStation increase pricing? So something Retro said earlier is I think what he was trying to allude to is that PlayStation has been stocking up warehouses in the United States with PS5s and PS5 Pros. And I think what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to delay the process of increasing price. If the
Yep,
tariffs continue the way that they are, well, eventually when that stock runs out, they might have to make a change to keep that same profitability.
yep,
Now, that's what we think they will do because they're a fucking company and they're about making money. Now, what I would like for them to do is to keep the same trajectory that you had going, meaning keep your pricing the same. Get all those Xbox customers, future customers, which isn't very many, but it's just another thing that a gamer can say when choosing a PlayStation is, well, Xbox really sucks, but now PlayStation is cheaper on top of it all, I'll go ahead and go with PlayStation. And if PlayStation really wants to get crazy, which this is all bullshit, right? This is not going to happen. But if PlayStation really wants to get crazy and they really want to hit that 150 million sales mark for this generation and have the PS5 beat the PS2 as the all-time best-selling console for PlayStation, they go down to fucking, even cheaper as they used to do back in the day. They start out at 500, then they go to 400, then they do some crazy 350 for a physical, include Astrobot, and watch them PS5s go off the shelves even quicker. But how are they going to make money, Will? Well, the same way they've been making money forever. Software, right? We all know that these console makers used to sell consoles at a loss because they would make the money on the back end, selling games. The problem with that today in today's world is that these games cost $200-300 million to make. So to make the money up for what you're losing on the console side is not as easy. Getting back to you guys.
It's never been easy. I mean, PS2 made $1 billion in profits. If they wouldn't have taken a loss on the hardware, they would have made like $10 billion.
Yes. Well, you have a difference when, Ghost of Tsushima cost, what was it, like 50-80 million to make, and now I'm sure that cost is going up into hundreds of million. So that's what I mean, that it's easier, or not as easy. When you were making games before, they didn't cost you $200 million. Now they are, which, by the way, I think is mismanagement by these fucking corporations. I don't think that it's so expensive. I just think that they just don't know how to manage their fucking money. And I said this in my video. Out of all the industries in the world, look, the video game industry isn't going broke, guys. Just so you know, because people are like, oh, it's hard out here. Last year, the video game industry as a whole, PC, all the consoles and shit, $145 billion. Okay, revenue. $145 billion. That's more than music, NFL, movies combined. Okay? That is a shit ton of money that they're making here. The problem is that they're spending a shit ton of fucking money. They overhired a lot of fucking people because they thought, hey, these 2020 numbers during COVID is going to stay like this forever. So let's hire so many more people so we can support the demand. Well, unfortunately, COVID went away, or not unfortunately, but COVID went away. People went back to normal. Now you got the same amount of gamers. Now you got the same or the consistent growth that the video game industry used to have. And they kind of fucked themselves. But I've been saying this. We have so many examples where they are just mismanaging their money, mismanaging their time, their resources. And I don't think that cost should be as high. I mean, we used to get trilogies for a quarter of the cost that are remembered as some of the greatest games in all time history. But getting back to this price increase, Retro made some good points. Nelson made some good points. Brett made some good points. Now, let's talk a little bit about the effect of the video game industry. Now, let's just assume right now, guys, that, okay, we know that Xbox is going up in price. We know the Nintendo Switch is also going up in price, right? Because they're doing $80 games, $70 games, $450 console, $500 bundle. Let's just assume that for the rest of the year, or let's say maybe even the rest of next year as well, PlayStation stays the same. Let's just act like let's take that back. Let's act like PlayStation does go up in price. We don't know what it'll be, but let's say they go up another $50, $80 on their consoles as well. Where does that leave the gamer? Do you think that the video game industry, as far as revenue, will slow down way more than normal? Do you think more people will play the games that they currently have? They'll buy less? What do you guys think all that's going to be? Let's start with who wants to go first. Retro, we'll start with you, man. What do you think about that? Do you think gamers will be buying less?
Honestly, I don't think it's going to affect it. Did $70 games affect it?
They're all the best-selling games.
Yep. Record revenues, all that kind of shit. I'll be honest, there'll be a lot of pissing and moaning online, but the vast majority of people won't give a fuck because those people that buy day one are going to continue to buy day one, and those people that wait for sales will continue to wait for sales. I genuinely don't think there's going to even be a bump.
Interesting.
Other than the plus way, I think there's going to be a plus.
I actually think the opposite. Brett, before we get to my opinion, what do you think? Do you think that people will buy less? Do you think it'll stay the same like Retro says? What do you think about that?
I don't think people are going to buy more. I don't I think it's going to be less. I can't really say by how much, but the reason why I think it's going to be less is I think a lot more people are going to pay more attention to games before they just like pull the trigger on them nowadays.
Yeah.
I think we're finally going to get to a point where you're not going to see as many pre-orders. You're not going to see as many day ones.
I already stopped pre-ordered a while ago.
That's what I'm saying. I think a lot of people are getting tired of the quality of games when they release. It usually, and this is from my perspective, it usually takes around a year of updates after the game is already out for the game to even be in a spot where I think it's acceptable, where it should have released in the first place. And I think when you put a higher price tag on something, a lot more people are gonna I honestly do. I think they're gonna start paying attention more to what they're buying before they honestly buy it on some real shit.
Nelson, anything you have to add to that?
Yeah, say the higher the price goes, the less games I get. It's already been that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know that I buy a lot of games.
Very few publishers I trust on being a quality game is like Capcom and Sony, and everything else is kind of a toss up.
Yep. And I think people are going to get more picky. But the reason I think, and I'm going to use myself as an example, I'm also going to use two people, the casual gamers in my life, my cousin and my step Kishi. So me personally, I buy a lot of games. I buy a lot of games day one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put out another video this week of my new video game pickups. You guys are here, so you get an exclusive. I just purchased East Nordic 10, Ed O, and Unpacking. They were all on sale. I saved 50% off, so I spent $72 instead of $140, which is retail price for each of these games. These type of purchases are going to be increasing from me, even though I've been trying to slow down this year, but now they're going to ramp up. Why? Because I no longer will be buying as many games day one. And mind you, Clair Obscura 33, I bought day one. Assassin's Creed, I bought day one. Oblivion, I bought day one. Days Gone, I bought day one. And the list goes on and on and on. That list is going to shrink tremendously if PlayStation puts their prices at $80. It will only be the games that I really, really want. And I'm the hardcore gamer. So now I'm really going to be looking at my backlog. I'm really going to be looking at the shit that I already own. And not because I can't afford it, because I can afford it. If they want to raise prices on brand new games to $100, I can still afford that. But I choose not to. And some of the reasons are because of what Brett said. These games are coming out broken, incomplete, so on and so on and so on. Now, fortunately, PlayStation doesn't really release games like that. You know, they're complete, feature complete, they're ready to go, really no bugs. Now, going to my two casual freaking family members, they maybe one of them buys about 2 to 3 games a year, maybe a little bit more. Not really any indies, just straight up AAA games. For example, Monster Hunter Wilds, they bought day one. The other person, my cousin, he plays specific games. God of War, he'll buy that day one. Spider-Man, he'll buy that day one. Otherwise, if he's not playing something I recommend to him from my own collection, he's either playing Call of Duty or 2K, sports games, right? The super casual. I told them each about the $80 price increase and how most games will probably be that much. The one cousin who is a freaking casual, sports gamer, he really didn't care because he doesn't buy the fucking games anyways. The only thing he told me is, well, I'll just wait till God of War is on sale for 40, $50, and then that's when I'll buy it. The other person said, oh, damn, that sucks. I guess I'm buying any of these games day one. I'll be waiting till they're on sale. So I do think this will affect the video game market. I do think that, look, if I'm a parent and my son comes up to me and says, hey, Dad, I want this new game for $80, I'm probably going to say no. And I'm probably going to wait till it goes on sale. And then we're going to go back to you're getting a game for your birthday, you're getting a game for Christmas. Not because I can't afford it, but because these games are coming out incomplete. And with the economic times that we're all experiencing high grocery prices. Fuel is starting to come down finally, but electricity, heat in the winter, AC in the summer, freaking just normal expenses, getting your car fixed, shit like that is still going up. So when you're talking about,
I'll give you the only pushback I'll give you is we said all this about the $70 price as well. And what did it change, really? If we're looking at it, what did it really do?
Yeah,
This is why I don't think it's gonna affect it, but this is why I don't think it will affect anything
but the
because
70
we're
price point was
already.
different with the hardcore gamer. Like we all kind of knew that we were still going to buy games. Not a lot of hardcore gamers said they were going to get less, at least to my recollection. Where we're seeing that now.
I
Yeah, but
couldn't
that's
believe
where
we
you
went
use your
15 years
judgment.
without a price increase.
But what I'm
So
saying is, we've always used our judgment to buy the games. Like, if the reports come out that they're broken, we don't tend to buy them day one, stuff like that. So we're
Hmm.
already doing that with $70 games. So to say we're going to do it with $80 games, but we're already doing that to buy based on day one or not and stuff like that. Um, I get what you're saying. I just don't believe because we're fickle as fuck, man. Let's be honest. We're all fickle as fuck. We
yeah,
say
and
we're not going to
casuals ain't
buy
buying
them.
any of them anyways.
The casuals, yeah, they don't buy that shit anyway. So what does it matter? Do you know what I mean? Like, I
They're
don't
playing
agree with the
Well,
price.
Apex
I
and
no,
really,
fucking.
no, that's not true
I
because
buy.
majority of video game sales come from casuals. The hardcore
No,
gamer is the minority here.
No, but the casuals are only buying the likes of your CODs and your FIFAs, man.
Well, those
You
are
know what
the
I mean?
games
They're
that
not
are
the ones
gonna.
support.
Those are the
They're
games
not the
that
ones
sell.
supporting the likes of Borderlands or God of War or
Well, I mean,
Spider Man.
Borderlands 3 sold 18 million copies. That's more than just hardcore gamers that are buying that.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean,
Why?
Borderlands
What
3
makes
sold
you
18
think that
million.
hardcore game? What makes you think that those weren't all hardcore gamers? Itself? You
I
don't think
just,
there's 18 million hardcore gamers?
no, I don't.
I would say there's over 100 million hardcore
If,
gamers
if there
every
was,
generation.
if there was 100 million hardcore gamers,
Oh
then,
yeah, based on the various different platforms and stuff.
well, then there
Easy,
would be more games
easy.
selling more than 1 million.
But there is. If
Yeah,
you
that's
look at
true.
Not really.
you can't. But no, wait there. If you look at the sales charts every month, all sorts of different games are
Mhm.
being sold every month.
For a
If you were to
small
count
amount of
that all
time.
up, there's definitely a lot more than just 16 million hardcore gamers. 100%
Oh,
there's more than
I'm
that.
not saying there isn't,
But
16,
that's what
20 million, but the number, hardcore gamers, if I were to guess, I'm 10%, maybe 15% of the total gaming
I
revenue.
don't think it's that low, man. I genuinely don't think it's that
I
low.
think it's lower than that, but there's also 300 million gamers out there. So
Yeah, well, could be a
Various
little bit higher.
degrees.
Yeah, maybe 20, 30 million, but I just don't think, because if you think about like they're AAA games for a reason, right? So like Borderlands 3, the Spider-Mans, these big budget AAA games, yeah, you're getting hardcore gamers buying those, but that's where the majority of the casuals are coming in. When you talk about most people buy 3 games per year, you have your sports game, whether it's FIFA, your 2K, or Madden. Then you have, a game like Borderlands, Mafia, Doom. That would be the second one. And then the third one generally is fucking, a first party game, Ghost of Tsushima, a freaking Halo, something like that. I think those are the 3 major types of games that the casual market is buying. And that's why the numbers are so lopsided, right? Like, unless you're Nintendo, where they're selling 20, 30 million copies on every fucking game they put out. But when you go back to normal sales, not many games are hitting the million mark. Now, to us, it seems like a lot because we're on the know. But when you look at the amount of games that come out every single year, we're talking close to 10,000 games that release every single year. And only, less than 20, less than 50 sell over a million, let alone over 5 and 10 million games.
if you take out the yearlies, I'd say it's about 15.
If you take out the Maddens, the FIFAs, the Call of Duties that
COD, the
sell,
MLB,
you know,
NBA.
so I just don't think there is that. And maybe, look, maybe I'm wrong, right? I don't know, but it seems like there's a lot because we're in this. We do podcasts, we watch YouTube, we're in the know, we're constantly watching the news, we know what's coming next. But if we look around us in our personal lives, like I only have my cousin and my other family member that played video games, and not even to the extent that we do. They maybe put in 400 or 500 hours a year on a good year. Outside of that, I don't know anybody else who plays video games except a friend here or there. What about in your personal lives? Take a quick stock in your personal lives. How many people in your personal lives do you guys know besides internet, that you didn't meet the internet, a family member, friends, coworker that plays video games as much as you, or plays more than just a couple times a year?
Anyone under the age of 40 that's a man plays that I know.
That you, oh wow, so you're a big percentage. What about you, Nelson?
Not very many.
What about you, Retro? Do you know a lot of people like that?
Um, they wouldn't be putting in the hours I put in. I know plenty of people that play games and stuff, but yeah, the likes of my kids and that don't put as much. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
there's, I would be the gamer of my kind of immediate like
family.
friends and family.
Yeah.
Oh, me too,
Um,
for sure.
See, like my
but
son's mother,
I'm
she
also,
plays. Go ahead.
I got my wife. I mean, my wife is more hardcore than me at the moment. She's got way more platinums and shit than me and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, she's.
See,
So yeah, I would say my
the
wife, man.
people, if like a normal person who doesn't even play video games, like my dad, for example, if I ask him, is my son's mother a hardcore gamer? He would say yes. Say yes, even though she plays like Mario Party, Mario Jamboree, maybe Mario Kart. Maybe like once or twice a month for like an hour. So that's what he would consider a hardcore gamer. Me, I'm an addict. I need to go to rehab. I'm wasting my life. That's how he sees me. I think more people are like my son's mother as far as gaming goes than are like us. And I think people like her are the majority of the 18, 20 million whenever a game like Borderlands comes out or a Halo or something like that. But it's going to be interesting to see, man, cuz look, even me or all of us, we're all talking about it. A lot of us are going to be cutting back, and we're the ones who are buying these games day one, right? What about you, Retro? Do you think you are going to cut back on the amount of games that you buy if games go to $80?
Nope.
You're going to keep the same rate. The games that you're interested in, you'll buy. The ones that you don't, you'll
Yeah,
skip.
I'm always gonna buy the games that I want day one. Day one.
Hmm.
I'm always gonna do that. It's the price.
Well, let me re-ask the question because I
It's the
think.
price. There's nothing I can personally do to change it other than wait for a sale, and I'm not willing to do that
Well,
because
let me
sometimes
reframe
I
that
just want that
question
shit.
because you're right. We're all going to buy the games that we want to buy day one, but there's so many games that I buy, and I think you guys are similar because we play so many games. But yes, we buy games day one. But there's also games that we're kind of interested in, but we don't buy day one because we have other shit that we want to play and it's not priority, and then we get it later, right? Those
Yeah.
games in specific, right? Because that's the money shot. Are you going to be cutting back on those to make room for your $80 day one games, or you're going to keep at the same pace with those type of games? Because once again, the
No,
day ones we're going to get.
I'm just gonna feed my kids and animals less, man. That's all. Just
Fuck
gonna
them
take it out of their
kids.
mouths, man. Yeah, fuck the kids, fuck the pets.
I agree.
I'll save some money and eat the dogs, man.
I was already telling my 9-year-old, like, dude, you
That's
gotta
a
start
joke,
thinking about
by the
what you're gonna do
way.
for
I
life,
love
man.
my kids. Just in case anyone ever fucking clips this like a dickhead, I love my kids. I would take a bullet for them right this second. Same
Absolutely.
as my pets. My two dogs are like my kids.
I don't
I'm
do the
only
pets, so
joking.
I'll
It
sacrifice
will
them.
make me. It will make me definitely take a second look at what I'm buying. Um, but I, I'll be honest, I don't see it. I don't see it really changing the way I already do things, which is pretty much buy the shit I want and that I think is going to be worth it day one, and then wait for a sale or wait until I see kind of hit a price that I'm happy with. But yeah, man, nah, I get people's frustration with it, man. It's not nice. You know what I mean? Nothing going up's nice, man.
Let me
But it is what it is. You
let
know.
me catch up with some of these chats here. Dizzy says there'll be more emphasis on the fact that games release broken while trying to ask for more money. I agree with you, Dizzy. Uh, Hero says the hardcore gamer will reduce our mad spending. I'm in that category for sure, Hero. I'm already trying to stock up on these 10, 15, $20 games that have been out for 5, 6, 7 years that I can get for cheap now. And other shit that interests me at that price point. But it's unfortunate because I'm a big AAA guy. I love AAA, but ever since, 3, 4 years ago when I really started dipping into indie, um, that has become just as good to me. Then we have another one by Hero. I'll play my Football Club 25 for 2 more years instead of buying annually. Okay, that's I haven't heard that before. That's a good idea. Henry says, legit waiting for a sale ain't a bad idea. Only thing is Nintendo joints won't. But to that point though, birthday and Christmas games like back in the day. So Henry kind of agrees with me. And we're gonna talk about the Nintendo stuff in a second too. C Fresh says the $10 jump from 60 to 70 made sense, not 80. I agree with that, C Fresh, especially because it's been so fast. I mean, we're talking about 2020 to 2025, 2019, somewhere around there. Then RPG says a good chunk of people buy the holy fuck editions when picking up day one games. That's also a good point. I think that goes with what Retro's saying that if you're gonna buy the game, you're gonna buy it no matter what the fucking cost is, right?
Yeah, most the fucking $100 editions usually sell more than the fucking regular
man.
editions.
Yeah, and I like to
Don't
buy
be big
those.
editions, man.
I like to buy
I, mean,
those.
I never buy those. I always buy the basic bitch.
Yeah, no, I buy those because
Shit.
I'm a collector, and you get season passes with those, where you get the DLCs. Not for everything, of course. Like I wouldn't buy that for a freaking Ubisoft game, but I'll definitely buy something like that.
I only buy them if there's like proper content with them. If there's
Yes.
not, if it's just fucking stupid skins and stuff like that, I don't bother.
Yeah, don't bother.
But like for example, the Horizon, everybody was giving off online about the early access. I wasn't even fucking looking at that. I was looking at the DLC that come with it. I was
Oh,
like, I
for
played the
Forza?
original release. Yeah, I
Yeah,
ain't
yeah.
played none of that DLC, so for me it was worth it. Do you know
Dude,
what I mean,
I ain't gonna lie. I've been so tempted to buy Forza, and I'm not even a racer.
bro? I'm completely rehooked. Completely.
Yeah.
I've always said Forza Horizon is one of the best arcade races you can buy. And the amount of I mean, it's got over 900 cars to collect, man. It throws cars at you like they're going out of style, man. It's ridiculous. It's so fun just
Well,
throwing your car about and stuff.
we're gonna talk about Forza in a second as well. RPG says a good chunk of people buy the. Yeah, I already said that. Henry says I would say that. Hey, by the way, guys, I put a goal up. I am trying to get a $5 super chat today. This is the first live that my channel qualifies for that, so I'm trying to see if it works. So anybody wants to volunteer, I would greatly appreciate you. Henry says, I would say the casual gamer ain't gonna buy COD or FIFA, even if they go up to $100. That's mostly all they play, so they're gonna keep playing it. RPG says that is more than the standard 80 RPG. My wife calls me hardcore, but I'm really not. Okay, so let's switch over a little bit to Nintendo, right? Because I think this is where, for me, there's a discrepancy, right? Now, I've been on a like fuck Nintendo binge lately. Well, since the Switch 2 got announced. And my dilemma with the Switch 2 or Nintendo, it's not even the console. I think the console itself is actually a pretty good deal. I mean, I don't want to say you're getting a phenomenal deal, but I think the pricing is accurate. I think 450 for what you're getting is cool. Great. I would have bought a couple of them, one for me, one for my son. The problem that I'm having with Nintendo is the $80 games part. And not because it's the $80, it's because I just don't see the value in a fucking game that costs 50 million to make to be charging $80 when Nintendo sells 20, 30 million of them. And also Nintendo has the highest profit margin by a mile compared to PlayStation or Xbox. We're talking about 5, 6, 7 times the amount that these other people make, right? The art
Mario
style,
Kart made like 4.3 billion. It probably cost 25 million to make.
dude, I use the example all the time of the not the Holy Trinity because that's three, but the Holy Quadruple. Back in the 90s when Nintendo came out with Zelda, Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, and what was the other one? Was it Metroid? Whatever. I think between all four of those games, I think Nintendo spent a total of like 10 million or 15 million to make those, and they sold tens upon tens upon tens of millions of these games, right? They made a fucking killing. Also, Nintendo also, and I'm just bringing this up, right? It has something to do with the gaming side, but Nintendo licensing deals is they're making a killing. They have theme parks, you know what I mean? They're not hurting for the money. For me, Nintendo is 100% greed, but we'll get into that. But my problem is how are you gonna have Gran Turismo, Forza Horizon, where you pay 70 for these games, but yet Nintendo wants 80 for Mario Kart. Guys, am I tripping here? Is there something to what I'm saying, or am I completely off base here? Because the internet has been crushing my nuts about this $80 thing. What do you guys think about that, Retro? Or we'll start with Brett. Brett, what do you think about that?
$80 games.
Oh wait,
I
RPG with the $5 super. Holy shit! Drop them bombs. What is it? If you don't drop 50 bombs, I ain't streaming. I don't even know how to do it. Thank you, RPG, for dropping the $5. RPG says light no fire, which RPG, you know that game ain't coming out to the PS8, so stop getting hype over that game. But thank you, RPG. I appreciate you. I'm gonna have to divvy it up. There's four of us. We each get, after you two take a hit, we each get a quarter. Good job. Put that towards your $80 fund. Sorry, Brett. Go ahead.
uh I think $80 is fine as long as the quality is there, but I like when you make a comparison like you just did with like Forza and Gran Turismo and then like a Mario Kart, like the $80 price point for the Mario Kart just sounds so fucking it sounds fucking ridiculous, to be honest. Uh but like I said, I have no problem paying for quality, but like you said, like their games cost 50 million to make, so why the fuck do like if it sounds like if any company has like the less of a need to like raise the prices of their games, it kind of sounds like
It's Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
You're like, what
So you
the
said
fuck?
Nintendo, like my dad says it. He doesn't even speak English. That's raw.
Uh,
Yeah, I agree with you,
like
Brett.
I don't.
Okay.
Nintendo is very lucky because like just putting Nintendo on a box, like their budget's 50
Yeah.
million, they
Hey,
can shit a box and write Nintendo on it and make fucking 50
hey,
million back.
you bought their alarm clock.
I
You know
did.
from experience.
I do.
He said I did. Did he buy real one?
I don't know how much he paid for it, but this alarm clock that
$100.
tickles your balls when you wake up in the morning. Oh, it doesn't do that?
Oh hell yeah.
Uh,
That's fire.
Hey, I can't even get mad at Nelson, dude. I fucking bought the Xbox controller hoodie for $15 when they released it. But hey, that's a good investment because now you can only get them for like 30, $40, so I'll make money on that. Retro, what about you? Is there sense in what I'm saying about the $80 Nintendo versus $80 everybody else, or am I tripping?
No, I get what you're saying, man. I mean, we all know they don't invest as heavily into their games as the likes of
They don't even have
Microsoft and
fucking voice
Sony.
actors yet.
No,
Yeah, I
No.
mean,
no,
none of that shit's even motion captured or anything like that. You know what I
no.
mean? They're not investing half as much as what Sony, Microsoft, even Activision, EA, all them big boys. So yeah, it is a bit funny to watch them be the first to kind of jump into the frying pan with the £80 games. Personally,
Retro, what's the
if you've played it,
transfer like between pounds and dollars? Like $1 is how many pounds or whatever, and over there.
I think a dollar is worth maybe. I'd say the time. If you give me a second, I can actually find out the conversion rate right now for you.
Well, let me ask you a question. How much is a double cheeseburger at McDonald's by you?
Shit, I don't know, £2 something.
Okay, so here's about $253. Okay, so it's pretty close.
All right, so a pound is equal to $1.33.
Okay. So your money is worth more than the dollar. Okay, so you guys know, Chad, when he
Right.
says 80 pounds for a game and 80 pounds dollars, he's actually paying more. So 3 times
Yeah,
8.
but see, in a way,
Yeah, but
in a
his
way, we're
government's
not.
wrapped up
In
in
a way,
that.
we're not because our tax is included. Our VAT and tax and stuff is included in the price
Oh,
that
okay,
we
yeah, you're right.
receive
Yeah,
the
and their
till.
taxes are high as fuck.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, but we paid it. So our £70 would be equal to your $70 plus the tax you pay at the till.
Yeah, because right now, if you want to buy a game brand new at 70, you're paying, depends on the county and state and city, anywhere between like 74 to $76, $77, somewhere around there. I pay 74 and change for my games when I buy day one. So okay, that makes sense. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Retro. Anything else you had to say about the Nintendo and pricing? Because look, Mario, the people that develop Mario, I think that studio is like 150 developers strong. Oh, Heroes 124 Australian.
But the
Sheesh.
thing is, people don't realize that Nintendo don't have the overheads of the others either.
No.
They barely have any internal studios. A lot of their work is contracted out to third parties. A lot of people don't even
Yeah,
realize this, man.
yeah, they probably only have
Like
like 1,000 devs compared
yeah, they
like
really
like
don't.
Xbox has like fucking 30,000 now.
Sheesh. Yeah,
Yeah,
that.
they're Yeah.
Nintendo. Oh, go ahead, Nelson.
No, I was gonna say like Activision was like 25,000 alone. That's why they were willing to sell. I mean, they made like 9.2 billion like 2 years ago. And they only made like 7.5 last year. They were like 2.3 billion in the red. Imagine buying something for $80 billion and going in the red.
See, it just boggles my mind. And the next subject is actually going to be Expedition 33. I think everybody here has played it. Have you played it, Retro?
Nah, I don't like turn-based combat. It's a
Okay.
straight turn off for me.
Oh yeah,
Game
yeah,
looks
I
fantastic.
remember.
I don't want to take away from the game. It looks fantastic. It just isn't my type of game.
I remember talking about it on X, and me and Wooly kind of ganged up on you a little bit. But the reason I bring them up is because, we have Expedition 33 that dropped last week, and that game is $50. Is it 50 pounds over by you too, Retro?
No idea. I'll
No
tell you
idea.
now.
It's $50, guys. I just beat it today. Literally, I was late to the podcast because I was in the last little bit, and I just had to see the credits before I stopped. And $50, 50 freaking dollars. And you know how long it took me to beat that game? 42 hours, and I still left some side stuff undone, right? There's a couple portals I didn't go through that were in red that I'm eventually going to go back and knock out. So I would guess there's about 50 to 60 hours of game there for $50. And mind you, if you're a PS Plus member and you bought the game or you pre-ordered it, it was $45. If you were on Xbox and you're I don't know, Game Pass subscriber, it's $45 for you as well. So when we have a game like Expedition 33 where you have about 60 hours of just one playthrough for $50, how can another developer who's making a 30-hour, 20-hour game expect me to pay $80 when the game may be broken, buggy, etc.? It just makes no sense to me. And of course, value is the eye of the beholder, right? People are going to see value completely different. But we shouldn't, because we have decades and decades of experience with video games, how much they cost, what we get with them, and it just doesn't sit right with me that Mario Kart costs 80, Zelda costs 80 once you upgrade to the Switch 2 version and you get all the shit that comes with it, versus a GTA or or not GTA because we don't know what that's going to cost, or like a Ghost of Tsushima or God of War. Go ahead, Retro.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, my bad. I thought somebody. But yeah, so
Well, the price is $44.99 for us, so about $59.
okay, so roughly about the same. For Hero in Australia, it's 84 Australian, which he said earlier that a $70 game is 124 Australian. These are big
Well,
increases.
a £70 game in America would be $92.92.
Okay, wow.
Their
So
taxes are really
so
high.
my
They have like
£70,
universal
yeah,
health care and all that shit.
my £70 is $92.92 to your dollars.
Yeah. And El Nini, I'm the same. Well, with
No, they
Nintendo,
don't raise our prices.
I bought a Pokemon Violet as well, but I paid 40 for it. I got it on Woot.com. I got it like a year later, but that's the cheapest you can probably get a Nintendo first party game, right? Is if it does go on sale, you're only saving $20. Where I just told you guys that I bought Eve's 10 Nordic for 30, which is the deluxe edition, comes with the art book, it comes with the soundtrack, and I paid 30 for that, which was a $60 game when it came out not even a year ago. So Ubisoft games are
Just came
notorious
out
for
in
this.
September.
September.
Or August.
Yes. So Ubisoft is notorious at this. Well, they'll put out $100 deluxe edition or gold edition, and then 3-4 months later is down to $30, $40. Shit, I even saw it for $20 for a couple days on Best Buy. Nintendo just doesn't do that, right? So that's another slap in the face because I talked about this a couple podcasts ago. Capcom has had great success with their tier pricing. And the way Capcom does it is they have their day one games, which are $70. Then after X amount of time, I think it's 120 days, they bring it down to $50. Then X amount of time after that, they bring it down to like $30. And then at the last tier, they're selling their games for $5. And they're making crazy amount of money at the $5 range, $20 range, and all the way up because there's different people with different financial means. And sometimes people can't get day one games. Nintendo, imagine how much more money they would make if they
You
did
mean
have a
lose?
similar. No, I think they would make it because
No, they wouldn't.
if you look at Nintendo,
Nintendo games, no, they fucking crush all other. You're only playing Nintendo games on fucking
Nelson,
Nintendo.
how many copies
They
did Pokemon sell month one? Majority.
like fucking 14 million.
Majority of their sales came from the first month. So the people that want to get the day one games, just like how we're all going to get $80 games if it's the games we want to get, they're also going to get it day one. So they're not going to lose anything, especially if you do it after a year. After a year, you can bring the price down, and now you're getting the scragglers, the people in the back, the people that weren't going to get the game, but because it's cheaper, now you're getting it. If that pricing model didn't work, Capcom will never do it. Nobody would ever do it. Ubisoft wouldn't fucking do it. They would just keep the game at $70, $80. Whenever you get it, you get it, but that's the fucking price, not Nintendo. But let's talk a little bit. Anybody else have to say about the pricing?
Fuck the pricing.
I agree, Brett, 1,000%. The next topic is Expedition 33, and not necessarily the story or anything like that. I want to talk about the impact that Expedition 33 is having in the video game industry, because
Let's do it.
we have people right away, day one, and I'm really interested in Retro's opinion because he hasn't played the game. Day one, people were saying Gotti, right? Brett was one of them. I said that if Gotti happened today, yes, Expedition 33 would win Gotti, but obviously it's not today. We still have a whole year left, or to be more accurate, 6 months left. But great reaction from the fans, great reaction from the journalists, quote unquote journalists, right? Just great reactions across the video game industry. And the real conversation of this is two things. One, the turn-based aspect of Expedition 33 and the impact it's having in the video game industry. Now we have people talking about how Yoshi P was wrong, and all these Square Enix is wrong for not doing a turn-based. And then the other conversation that I want to have with Expedition 33 is a good game. So let's start with the first one with the turn-based aspect. I don't like turn-based games. Nelson, he doesn't mind them. He plays them. He likes JRPGs. Retro doesn't like them. Brett doesn't like them. So we have two people that don't like turn-based that like Expedition 33. We have one person who doesn't like them, didn't buy Expedition 33, and we have one guy who likes turn-based, will play them, who likes Expedition 33. So let's start with Retro real quick, right? Because Retro he doesn't like turn-based. He hasn't played Expedition 33. So my question to Retro is, Retro, do you think people are blowing Expedition 33 out of proportion, meaning that they're just too hype because the game happened to be good? And two, do you think turn-based can come back to the way that it used to be before, the popularity that it was before? What do you think about that?
I don't see it being overhyped any more than any other game that people have been enjoying playing. If you enjoy that game, by all, like everybody I've seen that I would follow and that I would listen to, or I would take their opinion or stuff serious in this place, have all sung its praises. The art direction, the story, the music, the setting, the combat system, the characters. So I don't have no issue with people claiming it to be a game of the year contender or anything. It has its right, just like any other game does. And if people are really enjoying it that much, then awesome, more power to them, man. Maybe it will be something that pushes turn-based games to come back more to the forefront. But again, I don't really look out for that because it's not my type of game. Yeah, but I have no it's it's not typical. I'm not trying to hate anything like that. You know what I mean. I don't want to take anything away from the game because, like I said, by all accounts, it's fantastic. It's just not for me. So yeah. As for its wider effect, honestly, I don't know. You would have to speak to somebody that's a bit more clued in to those types of games and is around more that kind of community.
Okay, because over the last, I mean, decade, turn-based games have gone down in popularity, right? And we've seen that with some of the like big players, where they just switched the combat from turn-based to action-based. And Yoshi P just talked about how they needed to. Yoshi P is the creator of Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 14, I believe it was, or 13, something like that. And he said how they need to, the popular thing is action, right? And I'm gonna let Brett get into this real quick, but let me let you know why I asked that question is because as far as popularity goes, I think people have just been a tad bit thirsty for a good game. When what I mean by that is a game that has banging music, banging story, banging art style, banging combat, where so many facets of the game are really good. I think we've been a little dry on that sector. There's been a lot of games, but I think a game that hits in so many different levels, I think we've had a little bit of a dry spell. Now, you guys may not agree with me, but I think that's the main reason why. Because look, I like the game, but I think it's being overhyped just a tad bit, just a tad bit. Brett, what do you think about that?
Yo, I'll tell you this, bro. One, I don't think this is the big turnaround to bring back turn based. Because I'll tell you this, as someone who hates turn-based games, and when I say I hate them, like when I saw Baldur's Gate 3, I was like, "Holy fuck, dude, this is awesome!" I sent it to my buddy. I was like, "Bro, we got to get this." And he texts me back. He goes, "It's turn-based." I said, "I don't fucking want it anymore." Like, playing this game has not made me like go to any other turn-based game and be like, "Dude, I really want to give this a fair shot," because it's like something like a lot. My thing is I think personally it's the greatest game ever made in terms of where where the game lands. It it lands, in my opinion, in every major category that matters to making a masterpiece, and I think it lands at a
Nelson
perfect 10 in
bathroom.
all of them. So I personally think it's a fantastic game. I personally think, and this is the thing, I personally think it should be game of the year. And here's the thing: a lot of people are going to be like, Ghost of Yote, and you have Doom: The Dark Ages, and you have that fucking walking simulator game that's actually pretty good when you actually put like 5-6 hours into the game and finally starts to get good. That game and they all sing the same tune to me, and that's PS5 Pro selling points. None of those games I think are going to do anything special. And then you look at this game, and we're not even talking about the size of the fucking studio, dude. We're not even talking about 30 fucking people. I understand that they outsource some of the work, but this is a game that you turn on and you could tell that every motherfucker there had the same goddamn vision. You could tell every motherfucker there made a game that they want to turn on their system, their console, their PC, and they want to fucking play, dude. What they delivered, in my opinion, is such a solid fucking game, dude. From the very beginning cutscene, the very beginning, when you first meet the first two characters, and then from there, bro, you hit this emotional point in the game that, in my opinion, has never been touched, not even close. And a lot of people are going to bring up The Last of Us, and I know what they're talking about. But something, I don't know, bro. I tell everybody, like, I cried, and I don't care, I'm a grown ass man, but I'm also a father, all right? And I could never imagine leaving knowing that I'm like, because like, imagine I'm 33 now, so technically in that game I would be dead next year. So my children, in my eyes, would be 5, and my daughter would be 3. And as a father, bro, the last time I cried that hard was when I lost a family member, like on some real shit, bro. Like no movie, no video game, like the emotional roller coaster of that fucking game, bro, is so crazy. Like there's moments where you're like, holy fuck, like this is so amazing, and then there's moments where you're literally sitting there and you're just contemplating everything that you played through as like, dude, like this, I can't believe, like there's literally moments in that game where you're like, there is no way this really just fucking happened. And I have not been invested into a game that much in a long time. And I know I'm rambling a lot, but like I'm really somebody that hates turn-based games. And this
Ramble
is
on, bro.
literally
It's just showing your
like
passion.
on some real shit, dude. This is I would consider this my favorite game of all time. I really would. And I know it's like a lot of people think I think every game is good, and it's not that I think every game is good. I just find reasons to play games, not reasons not to play them. And the thing
Hey,
is if I wanted to find a reason not to play Expedition 33, I personally could not find a fucking reason, even if I tried, bro. And that's just me being honest about the game. The music spectacular, the writing spectacular, the character designs absolutely stunning. The character design stunning, and this was all done by 30 passionate people. And that's why I think these AAA and the $80 price tags are really gonna fucking matter when you have games like this and you have your fucking like last year's game of the year award winner. You have games like that are gonna match the Mario's, the heavy hitters, but they're gonna do them better, and they're gonna sell them for a cheaper price than you're selling it for.
yeah,
These
and
motherfuckers are in these big studios are in trouble, dude.
I
They're in
agree.
trouble. I'm telling you,
I agree
they're in
with Brett.
trouble.
And when I started this question off earlier, the thing that I said is that we were thirsty a little bit. And that's exactly what I mean. Everything that Brett explained. Look, let's be real, guys. There's been a lot of good games that have come out in 2025 so far. There's a lot of good games that are still to come this year, right? We have Death Stranding, we got Mafia, we got Border. I mean, there's a lot of games that are coming out that we think are going to be good, and some of them are definitely going to get nominated for Game of the Year. But
Yep.
let's be real. Take stock of your gaming life for the last year. When's the last
Yep.
time that you played a game that made you emotional, that it was fun to
Yep.
play, that it was visually pleasing, things worked, the music was hitting? Take stock. When's the last time you played a game like that? A new release. A new
Yep.
release. And I'm going to give you guys a few
Yep.
minutes to answer that question. When was it?
10
Because
years, I bet.
one of the things that for me, when I say a game is great, there's a reason why I like single player narrative driven games, right? Because
Yeah.
normally the story is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Normally the combat is really good. It may not be the best in comparison to maybe a more like arcade game, right? Like for example, I'm not gonna get a tremendous story from a game like um what's that freak like Hades, right? But
Yeah.
Hades was a
Yeah.
good game because the story was also pretty good, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not expecting a crazy story from that game. I'm expecting crazy combat from that game, gameplay from that game. What's another freaking example? Dead Cells, right? Yeah, there's a story in there. It's interesting, but it's not the greatest story ever told or even close to
Yeah.
it. But the gameplay is fucking phenomenal, right? So there's different categories for games, but Sony does this so well. That's why I'm a huge PlayStation fan because generally their games have really good stories, really good gameplay, really good freaking music, right? Some of these JRPGs, when you guys look back, I mean, whenever I hear a person talking about Final Fantasy from back in the 90s, what are they talking about? Yeah, I'm at the boss fight and all of a sudden the music starts hitting and, this person died and now I'm getting very emotional. That's story, right? That's story because let's be
Yeah.
real. Gameplay on these turn based, I don't even, and I know some of you guys are going to hate me, but I don't even consider it to be gameplay, right? It's a calculated button push. A character that you have has 100 health. The boss fight has 200 health. You have two attacks. One of them is 50 points, one of them is 20 points. You only have X amount of energy to use these attacks. So you just calculate, okay, if I hit him 4 times with the 50, I win. But if he hits me with the 150 and then another 75, I lose. So all you're doing is fucking math at that point. And that's what separates to me because I don't play
Yeah.
turn based games. So I don't know if there's other games like this or not. But Expedition 33 separates that because I no longer have to rely on this point system because I can parry, I can dodge, I can do a perfect
Yep.
parry, a perfect
It's
dodge.
more interactive.
It's more interactive. Now, Will, you don't like turn based, but yet you bought this game. Why? Because the story. On that story trailer, I said, hold the fuck on. This premise where if you're 33 years of age, you fucking die? Okay, we got to find out why. And that's what got me to play
Yeah.
the fucking game. And I was willing to put up with the gameplay if it was trash just for the story. So I understand why people are saying it's Gotti, right? Because you're getting all these elements that are hitting and they're hitting very well. And then I go back to our
Yep.
previous conversation. The game is $50 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
So you have the nerve to ask me for 80 when your game isn't complete, it don't hit 60 frames per second, you don't have fucking that good of an art style, your music is trash. You for real right now? But once again,
Bro.
go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, because you're talking about like what you get for like the price. Like from
Yeah.
what I heard in the one Discord that I'm in, not only does the game come with a new game plus, which I think is fucking solid. There's like this tower mode that you unlock, I guess, after you beat the fucking like. There's like actual, from what I'm hearing from people that have beaten the game and that are playing the game a lot. There's like an actual end game to
Oh yeah.
Expedition
Well, I
33,
gotta check
dude,
it
which
out. I
is
just
fucking
rolled
crazy.
credits. That's why I was late today on the
Yeah.
podcast. I was rolling credits. But I'm glad you brought that up because I'll definitely check it out. But the damn, I lost my thought.
Sorry, I had to say it.
No, you're good. With Expedition 33, I mean, look, and the game is not perfect either, right? Like the fact that it's built on Unreal Engine 5 is causing me problems. Oh, what I was gonna say. So getting back to the Nintendo pricing of $80, shout out to Warwana. So, because I said the pricing doesn't equate to me, right? I don't see the value there. Warwana said, well, the value is 80 because people are buying it at 80. But then that's why I say we're smarter than that. We have experience with video games for plenty of decades. How many games are better than the $80 that they're trying to push now? And that's the question that I leave to you, the listener, right now. These developers are pushing 80
Yeah.
because you're allowing them to. They are releasing broken games because you're allowing them to. And
Yeah.
people say, what do you mean? I use up Monster Hunter Wilds. Monster Hunter Wilds was built on the RE engine. That engine is not for that type of game. And you can tell when you're playing it. There's a reason why I gave up on it with playing co-op because it doesn't have the things that I like because the engine is not capable. But yet Monster Hunter Wild sold 1 million
Probably.
copies in 6 hours. So if you're fucking Capcom and you're looking at these numbers, why the fuck would you change anything if you're selling 1 million copies in 6 hours? If you're
Yeah.
Pokemon, why the fuck would you make a better game that's complete and not broken and not buggy if you're selling 15 million in the first fucking month? If you're Nintendo, why wouldn't you charge 70 instead of 60 for Zelda just because you spent 100 million to make, which makes no sense to me. Hey guys, we spent more money to make this game, so now you got to pay that difference, even though you're making more money than ever. But we are allowing this. Now, Retro, do you think I'm being too harsh on the gamer by saying it's your fault?
Nah, it is our fault, man. Totally our fault.
Because people get defensive when I
Like,
say that.
I hate that companies do microtransactions. I'm like, y'all buy the shit. That's
Yeah.
why they do it. You can't blame the company.
Yeah.
You got to blame you.
Yeah.
You know, fucking Assassin's Creed makes more from the microtransactions than the fucking sales.
Well, that's the other thing with pre-orders. Like, why are we pre-ordering digital games? Like, that shit ain't
Well,
selling out.
my thing is if they're raising the prices based off of, because if you do like on some real shit, I'm pretty sure Nelson's the one that said it, that people tend to when they pre-order a game, they tend to pre-order the two more expensive versions than the standard version. It does hold value, because if you do check the PlayStation Store, a lot of times when games are coming out, even if you check Ghost of Yotei, I guarantee The two higher versions are on the pre-order list higher than the standard version.
COD,
It is.
Madden, they're
It
all the
is.
NBA, they're all the $100
But the
editions.
thing is what we're paying for is more more shit that we're paying for. It's not like we're just dropping because I'm part of that. Like Diablo 4 expansion, I spent $100 on it. Every single expansion that comes out for Diablo 2, if there's $100 version, I buy it. But the reason why I buy it is because it takes care of all the battle passes that I don't have to fucking worry about. I don't have to worry about, am I going to have money then? It literally takes care of a year of Destiny 2 content and makes it so I don't really have to worry about it. I just have to jump on the game and fucking play. You know what I'm saying? So it's more of a convenience to me. But I'm not going to pay more money. I can't see myself paying more money for the same exact for just the game. I'm not you're raising the price, but you're not giving me anything more of value to like make that price
To
make
justify
any
the
sense.
price.
So yeah, it doesn't make any. You're not giving me anything more. I'm paying
Yeah.
$10 more, but what am I getting? The same broken fucking game that's going to take multiple updates. You're going to use some sorry ass excuse, blame somebody else instead of saying we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're sorry.
Yeah.
And we're gonna sit through update, and within a fucking month, we're gonna forget that we ever fucking spent as much as we did on the fucking
And
game,
Brett,
and the game is, yeah,
just to kind of give you a little bit of justification of what you're saying. For those of you guys that are subscribed to my channel, I make this series called Will It Play with No Internet. I talked about it in the beginning of the podcast where I take a game, I turn the internet off of my PS5 to see if the game is on the disc, how much of the game is on the disc. And
yeah,
what I've been noticing is that on PS5 games, in comparison to PS4 games, the update that you install after the game is usually way bigger. Meaning, if there is freaking a PS4 game, no internet, it works just fine. I turn the internet back on, there's normally like a 3 gig update. Sometimes there's nothing, 5 gig update, but it's usually pretty minimal. On PlayStation 5, those PS5 games, it's rare when I see an update less than 20 gigs. Less than 20 gigs. Now, yes, I understand that there's content that came out, there's new features, new modes, but not every
yeah,
game. And you see that
yeah,
time and time and time again where you're getting these, on the disc itself, there's 50, 60 gigs of game, but then you finish with the update and now you're at 80, 90 gigs. It's just
yeah,
ridiculous what they're
That's
getting
because
away with.
they put it in months before they sell it. So
Well, they
all the
did
things that they've been fixing before launch is in the game.
yes, very true. But also, you have to also coincide this with digital sales, right? Because the more digital sales they are, the more you see these updates. The same game made in 2015 that got, let's say, a remaster or a PS5 upgrade, back in 2015, that game sold way less digitally and way more physically. If we multiply that same game and put it out today for the PS5, you will see it in reverse, where more of the copies are sold digitally versus physically. But that's just giving these developers another fucking excuse to say, let's put the game out, we'll fix it as we go. During the PS4 era, when physical was king, they didn't have that luxury. Now imagine before that, PS3 or PS2, PS1, where there was no fucking update. If they did major changes, they just reprint the fucking game and sell that, and then they will sell you that as the better, new and improved game. But we are doing this shit to ourselves, guys. We really are. And I know it's hard because we're just a drop in the, drop in the bucket. We're a drop in the ocean. And one or two of us saying, I'm not going to buy the game till it comes out complete, feature complete. It's not going to do anything, right? We need a big movement for this to happen. But hey, it starts with these types of conversations. And you need to carry on these conversations and also stick to your red line. Like my red line is if the game needs internet for me to finish installing it, I'm not buying it day one. I'm going to wait on the sale and then I'll buy it. And I've been doing that recently. I did that for Assassin's Creed Shadows. I waited till I got me a pre-owned copy and then I purchased it. Now it's easier for me, right? Because I have friends that work at GameStop, and I'm able to get pre-owned copies from them because they get the game early, so then they play it, and then a day or two later after actual release date, I'm able to get their copy. So I understand it's easier for me. It's easier said than done for me, or easier done than said for me. But at a certain point, we have to look out for our best interest because these people don't give a fuck about us. They actually hate us. They hate when we like a good game that they didn't want it to be good. And they hate us when we hate a bad game that they want it to be good. Do you guys remember when Elden Ring came out and all these journalists were talking to the gamers saying, don't expect games like this. This is a fluke. Not everybody can make games like this. Like, what kind of fucking mentality is that? That should be the fucking standard. If a game is that great, everybody should follow suit, right? We saw it with Space Marine. Oh, it's a 360 game. It's a PS3 era game. Like, we are so past that. And look how well that fucking game did. Gamers want shit like that. I've been seeing that on Mind's Eye, right? Which is our next topic. Games that are coming out soon or in
Yeah,
May.
journalists aren't gonna like that. If they would have had a chick with transgender chick with a fucking
Purple
purple
hair.
hair, they'd love that shit.
With Mind's Eye, they're saying, yeah, this game came out 10 years too late. You're already starting to see that. I'm like, those are the exact games we fucking need.
That's what I want.
That's exactly what I want. I want it with better graphics, with better gameplay, with modern this, modern that. But the video game industry is so huge, but they try to put it in this fucking little section where if it's outside of that, you're the fucking bad guy. So we got to speak with our wallets, man. When we get games like Space Marine, we got to go support that. When we get fucking awesome games like what's the lyric, Baldur's Gate 3, we got to go buy that. I don't play turn-based, but yet I bought Baldur's Gate 3 because I support what that studio does. What's the other studio that I've been supporting the fuck out of? They're called Team Kill Media. They come out with some shitty fucking games. Actually, Sun and Bone wasn't that bad. But I buy their shit because I really like what that studio's doing. 3 or 4 brothers got together and said, you know what, we want to make games the way that we want to play them. And now they're coming out with Cold Violet. Not even a year after Sun and Bone came out. They've been releasing a game almost every year for the last 3 years. Now, sure, they're not the best quality, doesn't take a lot of time and all that. But still, I like supporting shit like that. Anything else you guys got to say about the pricing or Nintendo or Xbox before we bring up this last topic?
Nope.
Nope. Games. Now, April was a busy month with game releases, man. Very busy month. Retro got Forza Horizon. He bought that day one. He's been having a great time with it. I bought Expedition 33 and Oblivion day one. Been having a great time with Expedition 33. The little bit that I played of Oblivion, I had a great time.
Oh shit, yeah, I got Oblivion too. I also got Forever Skies, which is an awesome
Oh yeah,
little
yeah.
indie game.
How is that actually? Because me and the boys were trying to get that day one, but none of us did get it day one.
Bro, it's so fun. It's addictive, man. See, like just building your ship and scavenging for shit to make it better and unlocking it. Yeah, man. If you like that kind of survival buildy kind of like, your ship is your survival platform, man. So yeah, oh man, it's addictive. I think I've put about 30 hours into it so far, man, on and off. So yeah, I would recommend it, man.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's co-op and
Well, it'd be
I
good to get some people on my friends list to play it that's in my time zone because the likes of D Wolf and that have it, but they're in Australia, man. So our times just clash.
yeah, way too different. I mean,
Yeah.
like I play mainly with RPG88 and Henry. So we play a lot of games together. Like the next game, Borderlands 3 is one that we're all planning on getting and playing with each other. We're also gonna be playing
Oh
some
shit, yo!
Marathon.
I might jump in with you then
Hey, hop on in, bro.
if you're gonna do Borderlands 3 because I never really give it any time because my wife was always playing it, so I just got sick of seeing it, man. So I never really jumped in properly myself, man. So yeah,
Hey,
man, I'd be up for jumping in with that with yous.
yeah, dude,
I've got, I've got, I've got the game already, man. I've got like the Donkey Dick edition, so
yeah, me too. I got the Donkey Dick edition for the PS4, which I got it for like $20 on sale, dude. Crazy, crazy sale.
yeah,
But
same,
you get the
same.
PS5, the PS5 version for free.
The upgrade for free, yeah.
Yeah, the upgrade and also some PS Plus on top of it. So it's available for everybody. Anyways, I think I got like 3 or 4 hours into it, then I put it down because some new shit came out. Because I'm not
Yeah,
a
yeah,
huge fan of the art style. It's not like
I'm similar.
But
Yeah, I was much
it's
more
fun.
excited the first time we saw the first Borderlands when they first showed it off, the more realistic looking one.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Do you remember that?
yep, yep. What was that called? That was called fuck. I can't think of it, but yeah. Uh, a lot of people love the art style of the Borderlands, and I think that's I don't want them to change it, dude. The game's been extremely successful. Like I said, Borderlands 3 sold 18 million of copies, which is an insane amount. So for all the people asking, why are they making another Borderlands? Well, because they sold a shit ton of copies, dude. It's a popular IP. And then the fact that Borderlands 4, they listened to the Borderland fans and said, look, we need these things to change. And the developer said, okay, that's what we're going to do now. We're going to change it and make it how you want it. And that's what it looked like. That showcase really impressed me. Like I was curious about it, but I wasn't like I was day one or anything. That showcase made me day one. That's how impressive it was. But let's get into May, right? Because April, let's do a little follow up on April real quick before we move to May. But April, we had The Last of Us Part 2 came out on PC. Space Invaders Infinity Gene Evolve is an arcade game. Katamari Damacy Rolling, that's a game that's been out already, but it came out on a couple other platforms. South of Midnight came out, which was April 8th. I actually beat that game. I think Brett, did you beat that game as well?
Which one?
South of Midnight?
I did. Very good game.
I liked it. I liked the whole Southern thing. I liked the story.
Yeah.
It was very fun. I think the combat was a little bit too basic. And look, I don't mind basic combat, right? Because I really like stories. So if the story's good, I usually don't mind the combat. But this one was a little too repetitive, where I was starting to get I was just skipping shit so I can get the game over with. Plus, my Game Pass was expiring, so I need to get it done before that. Civilization 7 came out. Blueprints, which was available day one on PS Plus. The Talos Principle Reawakened came out on PC, PS4, Xbox, the whole nine. Star Overdrive, Crashland, Monaco 2. Now, I don't know these. Promise Mascot Agency. I got that game day one. I beat that game. Awesome fucking game. Another game by an indie developer who fucking blew it out the park. The music is phenomenal in that game. I know it's a game that not a lot of people will like, but there is a demo on PS Plus. Go check it out, man. That game was awesome. Um, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. It's on mobile, whatever. Lost Records: Bloom and Rage, which is the second part of that game. The first part came out on PS Plus. I think it was last month or 2 months ago. I tried it, didn't like it. Did anybody else play it and like it?
Which one did you say?
Lost
Bloom Rage?
Records. Yeah, Bloom and Rage. Yeah, you play as a high school girl who's got body issues and mommy issues.
Yeah, I'm good.
But hey, it was
I've
made
got
in
enough
the
of my own issues, man.
yeah, right. It was made in the '90s, so hey, that's the thing. Yeah, I got body issues too. I'm fucking fat. We have Nico Derico, The Magical World, Director's Cut. I'm gonna skip some of these no names. Drive Rally, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on PS5, April 17th. I already told you guys I would have loved to buy that game on physical, but there's only 25 gigs of the game on the disc, so I didn't buy it. I'll get it on a discount. Gorn 2 came out on VR and it's coming out later on PSVR. I submitted to get a review copy for that game, so hopefully they give me one. Then we have what else? Lunar Remastered Collection, which I'm gonna start playing now that I just beat Expedition 33. Lunar is a old school JRPG turn-based. If you haven't seen my video with that, go check it out. But that's another one. Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Fatal Fury for all the fighters out there. City of Wolves, Days Gone Remastered, World of Goo, Forza Horizon 5 on PS5, Fragpunk, which I haven't installed, haven't played it yet, and MotoGP 25. And now, oh wait, it's not over. Okay, now we're in May. So in May, we got Spray Paint Simulator.
It's
You
May.
already know I'm getting that.
It's May right now, so
Yeah, I know. Now we're in May. Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition that comes out tomorrow. No, Tuesday. So that is Tuesday. So Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition comes out Tuesday. The Midnight Walk. Let's go. So this is coming out to PC, PS5, and PSVR 2 May 8th. So that is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm looking forward to that one. That's a game where you can play on VR or just regularly. Then we have Revenge of the Savage Planet. 2, which is coming out May 8th, this Thursday as well on PS5, PC, Xbox. What else is big? Doom: The Dark Ages, PS5, PC, Xbox. Capcom Fighting Collection 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splinter's Fate.
Onimusha,
No, hold up, I haven't gotten
the
there yet. Maybe. Game of Thrones King's Road. So that's a mobile game. That pissed me off. I thought it was gonna be like a real AAA game. Banner of the Spark Linked. Only reason I bring that up because I heard some people talking about that game. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown, which is only available on PC. Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny Remastered. Elden Ring Night Rain, and Disney Illusion Island, starting Mickey and Friends. So those are the games coming out this month. Any games stand out to you guys from this list?
I was planning on getting Lost Soul Aside, so
Well, yeah, that
Lost
got
Soul
pushed.
Aside and Onimusha. But yeah.
The Onimusha, that's the same PS2 one. They just remastered it or remade it.
I think they just
I think it's
upresed it.
yeah, they just made it look slightly less terrible.
But it's still the same combat and shit.
I believe so.
Okay. All right, so then I won't be getting that. For me, Midnight Walk is a day one. I've been waiting on this game since I saw it in the PlayStation. Yeah. You're gonna be playing it PC or I mean, I'm sorry, PSVR or regular?
VR, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna try it out VR, and then I'm also gonna try it out regularly, see which one I like best. But yeah, VR for sure. The next one that I'm interested in, not sure if I'll pick this up. And they're missing a game here. The Precinct. The Precinct comes out this month as
I
well.
want that shit.
Now I got the deluxe edition pre-ordered. You know how much I paid for the deluxe edition, the holy shit edition?
$35.
$30. But that comes out, I think it's the 22nd. Also, another one that's coming out that they don't have on here
Well, how much
is
is the now fucking Donkey Dick edition?
$30.
That makes sense.
The non one. You said
Oh,
that
I
for,
think it's $20 digital. Maybe. Wait, hold on. Let me look at my receipt. Actually, I think I'm low on that. The Donkey Dick edition is actually $40.
just for reference, I stole that from Retro.
$40. What you steal from Retro?
Donkey Dick edition.
Oh, yeah, $40, and I guess the regular game is 30. But the Donkey Dick edition, all it is fucking like I think you get a soundtrack and maybe a poster or some shit. So it's not much. Deliver at All Costs is another game that comes out. That one comes out the 15th though. But what's the one that I was talking about?
That crazy one where everything's destructible.
Everything's destructible. You got to deliver packages or some shit. Yeah.
yeah, I'm getting that too.
Yeah, me too. That one and the Precinct have the same kind of art style, the same kind of camera. But the Precinct I'm more interested in. But yeah, I'll be getting both of them. What about Revenge of the Savage Planet? Anybody here getting that?
I am.
You are? Yeah, me too. I'm just not sure if I'm gonna get it day one or not. Anybody else
I
getting?
need to look more into it, man.
Well,
Revenge
it comes
of
to
the
Game Pass day one also, so.
True. Well, we're not bots like you, Brett. We actually buy our games.
Yeah. Yeah, you buy them even if you don't know they're going to be good. At least I get to try them. You know?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Everybody here has been gaming for 20 years plus. We can tell if a game is good.
That's not true.
You can't?
Well, no,
I
'cause
believe I
played a
can.
lot.
If I look at
I played a lot of games that I consider to be fun and good that a lot of people would consider to be dog shit, and that have been said
Yeah, I've noticed.
said to be dog shit games. So yeah, dude, I'm different.
Even you loving the games, even the bots are saying that the games that they fucking hoot and clap for is dog shit.
Yeah, like let's not forget, dude. I thought Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was a pretty good looter shooter, bro.
I mean, look, I play some of it. The shooting feels great in that game, but I'm not a big superhero person, and I think that's the one thing that would give you that itch to play that game for sure. But I don't have that, so to me, it was just a regular game. And also, it's a gas game, so my interest was even lower. I mean, I did buy it. I bought it for like $10, I think, for the Holy Shit edition, or as Retro says, a Donkey Dick edition. It was like $10, $15 or something like that. It was super cheap. What about
I bought
the
that shit the day it came out.
oh shit. So you spent what, $100 on that?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
So maybe you can see what a
And
good
I
game
got
is. Okay, I take my statement back.
no.
The
I
Game
could
Pass
tell what a
spec.
great. I could tell what a masterpiece is, but like I said, I find more reasons to play games than not to play them. You know, so I don't like I play on a Series S, so like a lot of things that bother a lot of people, I never have to worry about. Like I don't have to worry about getting sick because the game's fucking 30 FPS. I don't have to worry about if there's like a little fucking graphical fidelity that's not, where people think it should fucking be. I just play games that at the core, what the fuck am I doing? I don't give a fuck about nothing else. What is the core shit that I'm doing most of the time I'm playing your game? And is that going to be fun to me? Because you know me, bro. I've always and I know you don't like it, but I've always held to the thing of I don't even give a fuck about story. You know
Not
what I'm
me.
saying?
I
That's
like
why
Well,
story.
how the
that
hell could you say that when freaking you like South of Midnight and that's the only good thing about the fucking game?
Hey, that is true. Well, it's not the only good
because
thing, but it's
nine
a
nine
major
well
thing.
that's just a lot of
Fuck, even
a lot of
Randall
games that
Thor
I
said it. The game would have
play.
been better if they would have just skipped the combat entirely and just
That
fucking
is,
told
I
me the
don't know
story
about
and
that.
brought me to the
A,
end of the
a,
game.
a, a, a lot of the games that I play are like multiplayer co-op games. Like when I go to play a single player game, you bet your ass, obviously I'm gonna pay attention to the story. I can't sit here and say Expedition 33 is my favorite game of all time if I didn't pay attention to the story because in my opinion the story is one of the fun like Will said, like, oh my god, you're 33 years old, so that means you're gonna die. I wanna know fucking why. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, that one thing that drew me to this game because I hate turn-based too was the story. Like, I had a real big interest on the whole premise of the game, and that was enough for me to be like, I have to play it. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like multiplayer games, I don't give a fuck, bro. When it comes to MMOs, I don't give a fuck about the dialogue. I don't, dude.
Yeah, but
I'm already gonna
how?
put 100.
But those games like that, like, yeah, I understand what you're saying, right? The gameplay is king. And look, even those story games, I would say that gameplay is king too. Because yeah, the story, like if you take The Last of Us Part 1, for example, or any of the Last of Us games, whether you like the story or not, but the story is only X amount of the game. You know, it's a small portion of the game. Yeah, you get a cutscenes a few minutes long or whatever. You hear some dialogue, but majority of the game is gameplay. So obviously, the gameplay has to be good in order to even get you to get to that next cutscene or the next story beat. So I understand that, but at the same time, it's like these games that you're talking about. They remind me of that's why I call them arcade games because you go to the arcade you're only there for a limited time, right? Or however many quarters you have. You stick in quarters till you run out of quarters, and then when you leave there, you count in your head how many times you won or lost or what level you got to, right? Like that's just if you're gonna spend $70 on a game, like I need more than that, right? Now if you're selling it to me for $5 or free to play, then I don't expect none of that shit. I just expect for you to keep me entertained for maybe a few hours and we'll keep it moving. So when people say the story doesn't fucking matter in these games, I disagree, especially when you're charging 60, 70, $80 or fucking, $50. What did Bungie say? It's a premium game without the premium price. Well, I expect fucking to be something there than just bones. I need some meat too. What do you guys think about that? Am I crazy? Retro, what do you think?
About what? You talked about a lot there, man.
Am I crazy for wanting more than just gameplay in a game?
I mean, no, of course not, man. I mean, but again, it depends. I mean, it depends on what you're after, isn't it? You can't have. You can't. Not every game by nature is going to have a deep story, man, or something story-wise to pull you in. Sometimes it
So
is just
then
going to be about
can
gameplay.
they charge $70 then if it's just straight gameplay?
Hell yeah.
Again, it depends on the game, what
What do
it
you?
is, what's the
What's your
content.
opinion?
Again, it depends because, like, I play Gran Turismo. I don't. There's no story.
Oh, that
It's just
does.
gameplay.
Cafe,
That's true.
the cafe, baby.
It's not a story.
And you know what? I
I
played
can
the
tell.
cafe.
The
I
game
haven't
starts
been to
telling
that
a
game.
story. It gives you the history of fucking cars.
It does.
Ain't no fucking story, bro. You're not
That's a
gonna sit
story.
there and try and gaslight me that
I
Gran
did.
Turismo has a fucking
I
story
did. And you
because
know
it
what?
does not.
As soon as and thanks to Nelson for letting me know, so I got to go back that they added more to the
Alright, well,
cafe.
fuck you,
But
GT Sport, bitch, GT
that's
Sport.
why I didn't
There
buy
you
GT
go.
Sport.
No story,
I
no
didn't buy
story,
GT
just
Sport.
gameplay.
I
But you
skipped
asked
it.
me if
Oh,
I
no, that
would
is
or if
true.
I have,
That's true. I did ask you. Yeah,
and
but
you're still gaslighting Gran
well,
Turismo 7. That ain't no
another thing I
fucking
want to say
story,
too,
man.
because Gran Turismo is just such a high quality, high polish. Like
Alright,
these people travel the
I get
world.
that,
They measure
but that was
racetracks. They
But
like
that was my point. My point was it depends on the game and what it's targeting. That's all. I personally I prefer single player story driven games over all else.
me too.
But I also understand that that can't be the only way.
Hell nah.
Yeah. Well, Brett's different, but also Brett's game of the
No,
year is South of
no, but
Midnight.
I
So
understand Brett because I actually, especially these last couple of years, especially more so as I've got to know more people through Twitter and stuff, I have noticed that my interest in co-op stuff is getting more and more. And they don't all have stories. They don't all. So I get his point of view too. Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm saying that it just depends on what you're after and what the game offers.
I just don't. If a game isn't like Gran Turismo, where they freaking measured every racetrack, got in fucking all these cars to see the distance between the ceiling and the floor and how the seats feel, and put that much investment into making a game. No game of that nature should be charging $70 or more. That's just my opinion.
Oh
But
no, I get it. No, I get it. It definitely price should definitely reflect sort of the what's went into the game 100%. I mean, I'm not going to pay top dollar for say the VR version of oh what was it? That one where you're in space
Midnight
and you've got
Walk.
to kill people.
Oh,
Nah, you've got to kill people. You
talking
got to
about
kill people.
from the Light No Fire developer.
No, no, no. It's a really stupid game that everybody was playing on mobile, but then they've done a VR version of it. And
I
it's
don't
like
know.
you're all in different like colored spacesuits. And what somebody's a killer. You've got jobs to do around the
Oh,
space station.
what the fuck is that game? You guys know what he's talking about?
Yeah,
I know what you're
yeah.
talking about, dude. Fuck.
Shit. Among Us. Among Us.
There it is.
Oh, Among
Got it.
Us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, again, it's not worth anywhere near a full price release, but the gameplay's fun and it's worth its asking price in my opinion.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think I bought
So it
Among Us
just
for like
depends.
$7 on my
Yeah,
PS5.
yeah, it was really cheap, man. It was, but for what it is, it's worth that kind of money. But so I understand what you're saying. There's got to be for me. There has to be content there, whether that's gameplay, stories. There has to be something there for me to see worth in it, man.
Yeah.
But I do understand what you're saying. I don't want to say I disagree because it's your opinion, and you know, an opinion isn't wrong, man. It's your opinion.
I just think if you don't agree with me, you're a piece of shit. Not you, but
Well, you
anybody.
can
Oh,
suck a
I don't fucking
fucking
agree with you.
chicken's egg for a
I
donkey's
don't agree
arsehole.
with
I don't
you.
care.
No, I think the people that say that fucking Mario Kart World is worth $80 because Nintendo
One
said
thing I
so.
will agree with you on this is that Mario Kart has not changed very much since the days I was playing it
Yeah,
on the 3DS.
Where you can go to
yeah,
space in Mario Kart
true.
and it's still not worth 80 fucking dollars. Get the fuck out of here, bro. That's just
Yeah, you're
it's
not going to
insane.
tell me that them opening up the tracks a little bit is suddenly costing them so much more to make.
No,
Because I mean,
Yeah, but
let's
if
be
they
honest,
add a
that
story,
shit
Will,
is.
I'm sorry to tell you, if they add a story,
no,
the game is $80,
nah,
bro. It's
nah.
worth the $80.
Hell fucking no. These fuckers don't even fuck Nintendo. And look, man, dude, I was really, really open. I'm just looking for reasons to buy shit. You know what I mean? Like, all you got to do is not fuck it up and I'll probably buy it. But like, these people just do not know how to like not sell me on something. Like, it's not that fucking hard, bro. I'm a gamer. I want to buy
Bro,
gaming shit.
I did have one pre-ordered, man. I had one pre-ordered with the Mario Kart bundle, and then I don't know whether the universe or whatever it was telling me not to, but then my car started making suspicious noises. So I cancelled that shit just in case I needed the money.
Yeah.
And suddenly the car has stopped making those suspicious noises.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know whether that's the universe telling me that I just shouldn't be getting one, or. But
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't bothered. Changed
Look,
my mind.
I'm eventually gonna get one. You know what I mean? It's just I just need
Bro,
more
I know at some
games.
point my kids. I know at some point my kid. I've got 3 Switches sitting in the cupboard right
Yeah.
here as we talk, because the kids ask for them, and then they play the Pokemon, they play the Mario, and then they get bored, and then go back to their laptops. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, I got two, and we don't even play Switch like that. I mean, I think my son has a total of like
Yeah,
100 hours in 2025 or
bro.
2024.
I'll be honest. I think I played more on the Switch, like getting all the Pokemon and stuff for the kids, because they basically just hand them off to me and get me to play them and level up their shit.
Mm.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I think I got more playtime out of them Switches than they did, man.
Yeah, it's the same way. And I think that's something Nintendo's really going to miss out on. You know, I think their numbers are going to reflect that because of the cost. I think that the people saying, you know, like me, dude, I don't play Nintendo. I think I got Lifetime.
I think the pre-order sales completely say otherwise, unfortunately.
No, the pre-order
Yes,
sales
they
are
do.
always going to
They
be
had
popping. What do you mean? The first
they had
year?
what was it? 3.3
No.
million pre-orders
See, but
in
you're getting
Japan
it
alone,
confused.
bro.
You're getting it
But that's in
fucking
Japan
confused.
alone.
Brett,
Bro, I'm
you
telling
sound like not a smart person right fucking now. You really
Yo,
do.
I'm telling you.
The first year, the first 2 years of a console is fucking gonna do bonkers no matter fucking what. Because you're
No,
gonna
it's
get
not. It's
yes,
gonna,
it is.
but the games that
Wii
you
U.
have to buy are going to be $80, bro.
It
So
doesn't
these dudes are
matter.
buying a console for what? They're
The,
buying a console not to buy $80
so
games.
you're telling
No,
me
dude.
we're talking
What?
about fucking hardcore gamers earlier, right?
Yeah.
What we're guesstimated between 150 million to 300 million hardcore gamers. Why didn't Nintendo
Yeah.
sell 300 million fucking Nintendo Switches?
Why did they sell as many as they did then?
That's not the
the
fucking
better question.
question.
They don't need to sell
That's not the
300
fucking
million.
question.
It's the
How is
best
that
selling
not the
console of all
best- the
time.
bigger
It is the best selling
question?
console of all time. But you guys are acting like the $300 price point for a fucking Switch didn't have anything to do with it. A $200 Switch Lite didn't have anything to do with it.
It
Yes, the
certainly
first
did.
year, the first 2 years, it's going to do well. That's where all the hardcore gamers are going to get their fucking shit in. That's why pre-orders are sold out. But the question is the casual gamer going to say, you know what, I'm going to spend $450 on the Switch too? No. Or like me and Retro, I don't even play the fucking Switch and I got 2 of them. That's where Nintendo's gonna miss out on the fucking sales. It's people like me who would have bought 2 and 3 just because they're cheap and there's maybe a game or two I would play. Fuck it. Oh, the OLED came out. Yeah, it's $330. I got a gift card of $100. Only gonna come out with $230 out of pocket. Yeah, I'll fucking get it. Whatever. That's a pair of shoes. Not that bad. But at $450? No. Now I'm gonna be like, okay, what do I really want to play? Nothing. Okay, I'll wait till there's shit that I want to play. So that's gonna be how many years? And even at that, it took me fucking 3-4 years after the Switch came out for me to even fucking buy that thing. And that's what I'm talking about.
In minutes, no. I'm not.
But that's what I'm talking about.
I'm not okay with the price point. But what I'm saying is there unfortunately, bro, and the pre-order numbers show there was a lot of motherfuckers that lined up to buy
But
this
you're
console.
sticking to the pre-order numbers. The pre-order numbers are going to do very well. That's not the argument here. The argument is the life.
Console not to buy $80 games for it, though, is what I'm saying.
I'm talking about the life.
Games.
Okay, maybe you're getting me messed up. Do you think the Switch 2 is going to sell as many as the Switch 1 or close to it? Or anywhere around the ballpark? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Is it going to be close there? By 10 million, maybe 10 million less, or 20 million less. You think they're going to be close to the Switch 1?
Fuck, I don't.
That's where I'm coming from. Of course they're going to do very well. Of course the pre-orders are sold out. Of course, that's an automatic when you're going from a 1 to a 2, especially how successful the Switch 1 is, especially with how the Switch 2 is giving the gamers exactly what they wanted, better frames, better fucking fidelity, all that bullshit they're getting. Of course it's going to do well, but the question is it going to sell as much as the first one? And I'm giving you a $20 million or a 10 to 20 million fucking quantity, give or take. Because I don't think so.
Here's why I think so. Because what they're doing.
Nelson, you're not even buying yours anymore. How can you say yes when you backed out?
I lied.
Oh, you're a fucking fag.
Said I lie.
Well, what do you expect? This fucker bought a alarm clock for $100 just because it says "Wake up, bitch."
Sorry, son.
It's a me, Mario. Well, it tickles his balls.
Yes, not even tickle his balls. You got to pay extra $300 for that feature. Yeah, I just don't think. Like I said, I have a Switch. I don't even play Switch, but I bought it because it was cheap, and I think Nintendo's gonna miss out on a lot of those just because it's cheap sales. Now, is it gonna be millions of them? I don't fucking know, but I don't think it's gonna sell as well as the first one. There you go, Dizzy. Will is referring to all the casuals and parents that aren't going to buy the system. Yes. I just pre-ordered Switch 2, but only will buy one game. That's Hero. He said he bought the bundle, but most games won't be bought for the
Fucking
Switch
son
2.
of a bitch. I hate
The
this
Switch
game.
2 won't get past 80 mil, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know about 80 mil. I kind of agree. Expedition 33. I agree with you, Hero. I think 80 million is probably going to be the number. Because look, Retro's got 3 of them. I got 2. Nelson's purchased how many, Nelson? 2 or
4.
3? 4.
I got one 2 weeks ago.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're talking. Do you own one, Brett?
Yeah.
How many you got? 1?
Yeah.
So between 3 of us, there's 10 Nintendo Switches. And that's not even including the Nintendo Switches, which was twice, that I bought and sold. So if we include those times 2, right? Because I bought and sold them twice, that's 14 Switches. 5. So
Add another 2. Add another 2.
so we're at 17 Nintendo Switches between 3 of us. Is that gonna happen with the Switch 2? Fuck no. If I do get a Switch and my son something happens, joy drift or I don't know, whatever, I'm not just gonna buy another one. I'm gonna go get that shit to get repaired. I'll send it back to Nintendo, whatever. We'll fucking ask the hooker next door if she'll do something strange for a little bit of change so I can buy it. I don't know. But I'm not just gonna go buy one. They come out with an OLED, I ain't buying that. I'm not gonna spend $450. And people say, well, if you trade it in, you get $250. I'm like, you fucking idiot. You already spent the original $450. So all you're getting is half your money back, and then you got to add another $450 to that. It's like people with trading values, but that's where I'm coming from.
With the PS5 Pro.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, if you trade it in, you get 300. You only got to come out 400 out of pocket. It's like yeah, you already spent 500, dumbass. But yeah, between 3 of us, which we're not even, and think about this, we're not even Nintendo gamers. Like we're just testing it, right? There's 17 Switches between the 3 of us. 17,
That's
bro.
crazy.
That's why. Yeah, kids, man, they don't take care of shit.
No, but it was easy to just buy another one, because they were so cheap, $300. Like I said, for Christmas you get a gift card. That's $100 right there. You only got to pay $200.
They'll come out with a light in 2 years though. That'll be probably $300.
Yeah,
but I mean $300. But that thing was like let's be honest, that fucking thing is like a goddamn PS2. Like it's bad.
It's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's a piece of fucking shit.
The lights are horrible. They're horrible.
Yeah, so I think the Switch 2 will miss out on a lot of those sales. 17, damn, that's a crazy number,
with inflation, dude. It's the Switch today would cost almost $400. So, and that thing was a piece of shit.
Well, I don't think the Switch 2 is.
It was a piece of shit. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't think the Switch 2 is bad priced, but the games is what's badly
there's
priced.
only one game that's 80 so far. Donkey Kong 70.
That's still a bad price for Donkey Kong. 70 is too much for Donkey Kong.
No way,
paid
bro.
fucking 90 for Donkey Kong in 94.
I don't give a fuck. The economy was different in the 90s. Development costs were different in the 90s. That's not a good argument. That's fucking 30 years ago, dude. 30 years ago. Everything's different now.
For fucking 14 grand.
Everything's different, bro.
100.
No Nintendo game should cost more than 50. A used one?
Not to mention, most of those games are about 2 hours long.
I don't know. So what kind of truck you buy for 14 grand?
The basic one, dude. In 2000, the trucks were only like 20,000.
Sure. Yeah, no, fuck that. No Nintendo Switch game should cost more than $50. Not one. Not even Zelda.
Well, not when they're basically still developed as handheld games.
Exactly.
Sorry, but
fuck no.
Nope.
I ain't gonna lie. When a Nintendo person tells me they're buying a fucking Nintendo Mario Kart, I just look at them different. Like you're not smart with
Mario
your
Kart's
money.
cool though, bro. Mario Kart's a
Yeah.
cool experience.
So you know what else is
Oh no,
cool?
it is a fun game.
Yeah.
I won't take away from the actual moment-to-moment
No,
gameplay. It's
Yeah,
fantastic,
it's
but
fun. It's fun. Yeah, I agree.
but
it's
it's
just not 80 quid. We all know how it's gonna go. You're gonna have cups to do, and you're
Yeah.
basically gonna go up in CC, 50 cc every
oh,
cup,
dude.
and then that's it
Yeah.
done.
Dude, the first time I played Mario Kart for the Switch 2, Mario Kart 8, I was really thinking there was going to be like some sort of story where I had to beat Bowser to get Princess Peach back. Not
Yeah,
even that. They didn't give us
bullshit,
that.
man.
Like Diddy
It's the
Kong
exact same
Racing.
game from the 3DS. Exactly the same. I
Hmm.
guarantee it's still running on that same engine.
Oh, yeah. But Nintendo wants 84 now, so go sell your kids, go
Yeah.
sell your wife, go sell everything so you can buy Donkey Kong and Mario. Damn, how much? What is that? That's $150 for 2 games. That's insane. That's half the price point of a fucking Switch One. Well, and gentlemen, anything else you guys want to say about anything?
Yes, I beat that cocksucker finally.
Good job.
The game is
How
open
do
world.
you know it's sexual orientation, man?
Mario Kart World is open world.
Yeah, it is. That's worth
Wow.
that's
I
worth a
didn't know
hundred
that.
bucks to you.
Open track, more like.
Is it worth it now that you know it's open world?
I mean, Crash Team Racing was only doing that on, the PS. What was that? PS what?
PS
What did Crash Team?
was it PS1?
Was it one?
I think so.
Diddy Kong Racing did it on the 64, bro.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it
true.
did. That's right.
That's true.
They did, dude. They did, bro. They had a story and everything in that game.
Shit.
It's sad, bro. And that game didn't cost them more than like 10 million to make, and they
Yeah.
sold a shit ton of copies. Well, gentlemen, there y'all have it, man. That's the state of gaming today. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys showing me all the support, man. As you guys know, my channel hit 500 subscribers a week ago. We are now approaching 600, man. We're at 570, 574. You guys have been tremendous with the support, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget, every Sunday night or for a retro Sunday morning, early after, what is it, morning or early afternoon?
It's now 5 o'clock in the morning
Oh,
on
shit.
Monday.
5 o'clock in the morning over by retro. We're here and we're talking gaming.
Yep.
Some Sundays is very good. Some days it sucks. Today was a good one, but I appreciate the support. Special thanks to Retro for being here. Special thanks to Brett for being here. Nelson, of course, is my co-host. Thank him for being here every week. Shout out to RPG88 for the $5 super chat. I'm gonna get that framed and post it up on my game collection. Shout out to the chat. Dizzy, Fresh, Hero, who Hero's actually the winner of my $25 gift card I did a few months ago, which I might be doing again. So keep an eye out for that. El Nini, thank you. Who else am I missing? Henry.
Oh, hey, want to know the worst part about Lost Solo Side getting delayed?
Huh?
You know,
You
game
don't get
comes
to
out the day
play it.
before it.
What?
Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh, well, that sucks for you.
I don't buy
It does
pussy,
suck
them
for me.
bitches, man.
you're the Metal Gear fan. You're the one who put the snake in your snake. You know what I mean? Let's be real. You play snakes. You fight swords with Snake, wouldn't you?
That's the only book I read when I was in the school.
No, I'm
I
actually
read
looking
Metal Gear.
forward to
Nothing
Metal Gear. It looks good, man. I didn't play none of the old ones, but I'm really looking forward to this one. I think it looks really good. Graphics look good. Gameplay looks good. So, oh well. I'll probably play Metal Gear Solid 1 or Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater before I get Lost Soul Aside. I'm not like you guys who known about what's the game Lost Soul Aside. I didn't know about that game. I just found out about it like last year. So it's not like I've been waiting on it for 10 years like you. So I don't really give a fuck about it. Yeah, it looks fun. It looks cool, but whatever. But Metal Gear, oh yeah,
combat looks fired.
it does.
But Metal Gear or freaking anything, it's Metal Gear. Very very easy answer.
Well, if you think about what these, Lost Soul Aside, to me, it looks like a PS3 era fucking game, like the combat does. But that doesn't mean it's bad. It actually
The
means it's
combat
really
does?
good. Yeah, it does. It looks like a Heavenly Sword or something like that to me. But either way, all right, I don't want to keep you guys going. Thank you so much for being here. We'll catch you guys next week, Sunday, same time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, or 3 in the morning UK time. Wu Chang does look good too, C Fresh. But let me Retro, let the people know where they
Yo.
can find you if you want them to find you.
You can find me on Twitter. At
What
what
up?
is it? At XTSX Retro, I think. And then if you want any of my gaming shit, it'll be on the bio, man.
Y'all go follow Retro. I'll put the link to his X
Well,
on the
fucking don't, you
description.
weirdos. I don't need you just following me, man.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you guys. Don't follow Retro. I'll put the
You
description.
ain't gonna win nothing. You ain't gonna get nothing out of me, man.
No, you won't. But you can get some good gaming opinions from Retro. Dude is a gamer. He's one of the few people, man, no bullshit, that I see gaming all the fucking time. He's constantly gaming games. He's always on there, so he's not like one of these assholes who games like 100 hours a year and then wants to tell you that everything sucks ass. No. If Retro tells you something sucks, it's because it really does suck. So a good person to get a temperature of a game if you're quite unsure. Next, we have Mr. Brett, or his name is Iron Man. We call him Brett. But Iron Man, tell the people where they can find you if you want them to find you.
Discord.
Oh, there you go. I'll link my Discord on the description as well. You can find Brett. Look, Brett is a bot. We all know this, but we all like Brett, man. He's a gamer as well. He's always playing games. I think a little bit too much sometimes, which is hard for me to say because I play a lot of fucking games. But he is a gamer. He plays all sorts of games, and he's like me, where he looks for reasons to play a game, not reasons not to play a game. Yes, Hero, you're right. Retro, you need to play Expedition 33.
No. Yeah,
Yes.
you do.
Yes, you do.
I'm not doing it, man.
You have an Xbox?
I've got Game Pass. I haven't got an Xbox, but I mean, I've got one of the folds. I could just.
So you got a
hook up my
PC?
controller to my. I have, but they're the kids, man. I don't really use them.
You know, I have a saying here in my house: whatever is the kids is mine. Whatever is mine is mine.
Nah, man. What happened? Nah, I leave their shit and let them.
Let me ask you a
'cause if I
question.
break it or do something, you know what I mean?
Did
then
one
I'm
of
the
your
worst person in the
kids,
world.
one of your kids who owns the Xbox, did they not like clean the room, or they did something they're not supposed to? Did they like not go to bed on time? Did they do anything like that? Because that's a perfect reason to say, "Give me your shit till I'm done." That's your fucking punishment. Just remember that parent trick. It's like
I
the dad
just-
tax.
Nah, I don't have an interest in playing it. I won't lie. I just know the gameplay is gonna kill me, and I'm not gonna enjoy it, and I'm gonna end up
I thought
putting it
that
down.
too. I thought that too, Retro. I thought that too. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just
Yeah, the
saying.
gameplay's pretty fire.
Look, if you
It's not your
just,
typical turn-based
it's
at all.
not
It
at
feels a
all.
lot like peer pressure, man. Like people said
Yeah,
this about cigarettes when I was younger.
yeah, and you should have smoked them.
I did. That's the problem.
Good. Me too. That's why I'm.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
here
You know,
puffing.
half the time he's playing Gran Turismo, he's playing out on the porch because he can't stop smoking long enough to come into the house.
What about vape,
Thanks, man.
bro?
Like, this portal has seen some hours, you know. Like
What about vape?
I
Yeah, he can't go
Do
in
you
his house because as soon as he's freaking
I'm
finished with
gonna
a
stick
cigarette,
my
he lights up a on.
It's not a cigarette, but
No,
Retro, are you like me? Get done eating, gotta smoke. Get in the car, gotta
yeah,
smoke. Get out the car, gotta
yeah.
smoke. Sneeze, gotta smoke. Fucking touch my dick on
Facts.
accident, gotta smoke. Yeah, I started vaping
Yeah.
for that reason. Now I just smoke all the time. I don't gotta worry about going outside or smelling like cigarettes or nothing like that. But I do feel better. It's been better in my pockets. But man, ain't nothing like getting that drag from a cigarette, bro. That burning sensation, like there's nothing like it. But it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make, man. But yeah, I mean, smoking, kids don't smoke. It's terrible for you. But I get you,
Yeah,
bro.
it's something I need to. It's something I need to look at myself seriously. Because yeah,
Man, we all got bad
the old
habits, bro.
chest ain't taking it like it used to, you know.
Yeah, yeah, dude. That's well, I quit mainly for that because I just wasn't feeling good, and also I smelled like cigarettes a lot. And the third reason was it was just getting expensive, dude. Like $10 a pack, and I was smoking
13
every
here.
day. So it was like what, $70 a week on cigarettes? Like, bro, 70 times four. I'm spending fucking a lot of money on cigarettes. I need to do something. So now I smoke the Juul, which is basically $5 a day. So I cut my costs in half. And then if I can drag it out a little bit, then I could cut it even further. But yeah, it's a tough habit to break, man. And thanks to the military, I also chew tobacco. So thank you, U.S. government, for fucking giving me another habit.
I started smoking in the army and I quit then when I left. You know why I started smoking? In an airborne unit, like your first year when you're a cherry,
Fucking smoke
fucking
breaks.
only way to get a break would to get a smoke break. Otherwise, they ran you fucking ragged from dark to dark.
Yeah, everybody
So I started smoking just so I could get 10 minutes where someone wasn't fucking with me.
smoke them if you got them. That was the fucking
Yeah, that's
saying.
when I got them because otherwise I'd be fucking doing something stupid.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll link the description for Brett on my Discord actually, which I should be doing any fucking ways. And then last but not least, we have Mr. Nelson Gaming Culture, who now has more time to game since you don't have to do all that overtime. Nelson, let the
I
people
didn't have to
know.
do it. I wanted to do it. It's a lot of money
You
I'm
didn't
missing
want
out
to
on.
do it. Nobody wants to do overtime.
Well,
I'm
pay
not
and a
forced
half.
to, is what I mean.
Pay and a half
You
is
wanted the money.
I
yeah.
get double time on Sunday.
Oh, look at that, Mr. Baller.
Not
Double
no more.
pay. Well, let the people know where they can find you.
I did it too for double.
Shit, I'll,
Nelson Gaming 12 across the board, except for PSN. No,
especially
wait, it is PSN too. Yeah.
yes, PSN Nelson Gaming Culture. Especially here in America, Trump was talking about getting rid of what is it, income tax for overtime or taxing overtime?
He's
Dude,
been trying to pass it.
oof, that would be so much money. I can't work overtime. If I work overtime, great. You know, it's free to them. I get salary, bro. I'm a salary fucking slut, which sucks. But yeah, so there y'all have it, guys. Thank you for stopping in tonight once again. Shout out to all you guys, Hero. We gotta convince Retro to play, man. He's got Game Pass. He's got the TV. All he's gotta do is hook up the controller. Look, just play the first hour. That's it. And you know what? The first hour, there's literally almost no gameplay. It's all story. So at least get the first hour so you can watch a movie, and then you go from there. All right. And if you decide to stream it, let me know. I'll be there day one. Otherwise, thank y'all so much. Keep it gaming. Oh shit! Fuck! I spilled my drink.